click.
Tell your chat. Oh, okay. Irrational Time says, tell your chat to at least wait for Captain to be looking at the chat before they spam to pick you up. Okay, you heard Irrational Times. Hector IP2.
Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, accidentally named Irrational Times. He's got a microphone and his very own YouTube show. It's the Daily Boogie. It's the Daily Boogie. Those were the days. Might feel the same way that you do. Might feel the same way.
Everybody, let's shame James. The way he cuts his hair, he deserves it anyway.
Are you ready for this? L. For the losers who always get pissed. Don't fuck around or you're gonna get pressed by Johnny Boston. Only go one way on the muddy plane. We're only going one way when you're riding on the muddy plane.
The way she's acting, and I'm kinda scared. She's gonna shave your head, then marry your hair.
They had a lot of money and plane tickets to get away. But Officer Scott to Carlo stopped them. They were detained.
What do you expect when they call you Talcum X and you're just cashing in on the news?
Wow. It appears we really are living in irrational times.
Super coupon trip.
How's she going, boys?
Welcome to the Irrational Times live show. And now, it's your host and the lovely assistant.
Thank you,
Yes,
Dixie.
yes.
Hi.
Certainly is. Welcome to another show, if you believe it or not. Yeah, I know we just did a show with Jeb and everything, but this is a whole other
We'll
new
be
show.
back.
We're back again. We have some great stuff tonight to show you. Let's see here. Canada Man Dan was searching for the 5 dancing Israeli song and couldn't find it. Oh my goodness. Well, we might have to take care of that. We might have to remedy that because that should be around. I will find that. But welcome, everyone. I'll find that as I speak, whatever.
Ooh,
but thank you
you
so much
can
for showing. I can
multitask.
multitask. Yes, aren't I special?
Cool.
Welcome, though. Thanks for everyone for joining us this evening. And also thanks to Jeb for joining us earlier
Oh my
today.
goodness, Jeb's great.
It was a great time. I'm so glad to get to see him, and hopefully he'll be back again because he's around here for a little bit. So that's good news in a way. Anyways, tonight, though, we have a very special... We're going to start off with a Christmas song that I'll be donating to Frozen afterwards and Daywave and whatever. I have a feeling that they'll be wanting to play
Intrigued.
that. We will start off with that... Wait now. But now I can't find the song. If I can't find the song, that's a problem.
Is it the Randy Newman?
Yeah.
She just passed it.
Did I? Okay, good. I was starting to get nervous. Well, I don't see his big face there.
You will. Keep going.
Go
Keep
up?
going.
Up? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here, I'll just put the link in the chat for you guys. There, I did find it. Oh, hey, Frozo. Well,
Hey,
look at
Frozo.
that. Perfect. Just in time.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy this. Before I'll just let you know. Tonight we're gonna watch. This might be a long night. I don't know. We'll see. No guarantees, but we're gonna watch a Canadian documentary. Don't leave all at once. About record collecting.
Ooh,
Again.
even more.
But
Riveting.
I promise you, it's special. But of course, what else is special, you ask? Well, Christmas time is special, and it is the Christmas month, and so we here in Canada we like to say Christmas many different ways, and.
Indeed.
I don't know. Where did you find this? You were watching Christmas Daddies.
I was watching
It's a very well-known tradition around here,
Right.
and where people come and play music, and it's a telethon.
It's a telethon that raises money for children.
So this year, usually it's live acts. It's
Right.
almost 100% live acts right there.
Well,
But this year they played a music video from someone
right.
who didn't appear in their video.
No.
And it's a Christmas song. So, Frozen, I don't know, you guys were looking for some kind of Christmas number. I'm not exactly sure if it was looking for a good one or a bad one. But either way, I think we found a winner. Enjoy Penhorn Summer, Santa's Spaceship. Everybody, please enjoy.
December 25th and it's just getting home. Walking around the North Pole. When a bright light shines a light in the sky. Sucks up everything you know. Isn't the big star that the wise men saw so long ago? Now it's a portal to another world. Santa decided to go.
After the gifts are delivered, the children all over the globe. When Santa's sleigh is all put away, he takes his spaceship across the Milky Way. Santa's spaceship cruising through the stars, handing out gifts from Pluto to Mars. Santa's spaceship shooting through the stars. Aliens get gifts just like ours.
Why would the aliens have presents that... And the aliens playing the guitar, cute. Why would the aliens have presents that looked like ours? What's up, Mr. Autist? How's it going? So...
Well, why wouldn't they have presents?
I think they would have
like
fancier
ours?
wrapping paper. Maybe chrome.
Ooh.
Chrome wrapping paper, maybe.
You think they're all fancy?
That they can open up with their minds.
Santa won't admit a place he won't hit.
they're using plenty of autotune, but
But
yet it
this-
still sounds out of tune. It's actually quite an accomplishment.
Wow.
Do you know how hard it is to use autotune but still not sound in tune?
Well, that was painful, whatever just happened there.
It's an art. It's not. Jerome, that's very funny. So yeah, they have arms and legs and stuff, and I'm like, how do they have the same presence? That's what I'm worried about, the presence. But it's just in the context of the video. But
Right.
yes, this is quite the work.
The village where it's always Christmas Eve. Santa without a sleigh in space on Christmas Day. Except the planet of demons. Traveling through all the worlds. On the open on December 25th. Skipping all over the galaxy. Delivering presents to all the aliens.
Just like us.
Cruising through the stars, handing out gifts, food on to Mars. Santa spaceship, shooting through the stars. Aliens get gifts just like
Wow, look
ours.
at that, just like ours.
Oh, you were singing the lyrics.
Gadgets to help him along his way.
It's more of a
They
robot,
got
less an
elves
alien.
and fairies
Right.
on the bridge,
Agreed.
and reindeer down in the stables. Yeah, the cargo hold is full of gifts, crammed in there every which way. And if he doesn't deliver them all on time, the portal will close and he'll be stuck in space.
Again, the attitude did some magic there.
The auto-tune has not been working for these gentlemen now, for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Well, they did at the very last second. No.
Cruising through the stars, handing out gifts, food on to Mars. Santa spaceship, shooting through the stars. Yeah. Aliens get gifts just like ours.
I'm still amazed you knew that lyric.
I was listening to the song.
You are very good. Observant you are.
I love it, Jerome. Is this asking if this is what the Canadian Christmas sounds like?
Yeah.
You walk through the stores, it
Terrible
sounds like space.
autotune.
Awful autotune. Luckily not, actually. Hobo's saying that this is like some Nazi technology helping the Santa get to the moon. Well, Santa is, only one letter away from Satan.
Whoa,
So-
hot take.
Oh, yes, hot take. It's the church ladies' take from the 90s. Anyways, that's... I will give... I'll send Frozen the link for that later. See if it does, if it does anything for you. I don't know, whatever.
Sorry, it was kind of long.
Yeah, I'm cutting that off.
They went to space for it took a long time.
Yeah, I cut off the last 10 seconds there. Regardless, look here. We have so much to get to. Which is just one thing we have to get to, but it's so much of one thing. I want you guys to, to enjoy this next video here we're going to watch. It's a Canadian documentary about record collecting. It's almost 2 hours long. I couldn't make any timestamps to go through. The whole thing was unbelievable.
So y'all lucky got to sit through the whole thing?
Yes, we're going to sit through as much as we can. You two. So it's a gentleman named Alan Zwig. It has everything, it has...
One bet.
It has drama. I say it's about record collecting, or the documentary, he says it's about record collecting.
It has drama, you say?
There's very little talk with actual music in this, so
Whoa,
it's
but
great. It is unbelievable. So enjoy. Let's see here. This is a Canadian documentary.
So anyway, the story I'm going to want to tell was about this thing that I did when I was. Here's the story, basically.
We're starting off with Captain Beefheart. Nice. Let's go.
Face. Okay, there's the camera. It's on my face.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, there we are. Okay, 3 years ago, I had no CD player and no CDs. And I decided that it was time to stop holding out. I don't know why I'm keeping my eye closed, if you can see it. I guess I think I look better with my eye closed. No, it's okay with my eye open. I used to keep a diary up until recently on my computer. And maybe, of course, in that diary, all I talked about was women. And here I'm only going to talk about records. But maybe the point somehow will be the same. I'm making this film. It's about record collecting and about vinyl. And I could probably do the whole film right here in my house. But
Would you guys like that? Would you guys like it if you did the whole 2-hour film was just this guy looking in the mirror? Luckily, he does go to talk to people that collect records.
Closed, I open.
He goes to people's houses that collect records, and he collects records
Truth
himself.
is, it's not just that I don't like looking at myself for a whole film, but other people are more interesting.
It always intrigues me when a bald man has
Some
so
people
much
are more
hair.
interesting.
A bald man is. Oh, here we
Idea
go.
how much you have here.
It's been many years since I tried to count it. I'm guessing 10 to 12,000 LPs.
12,000 LPs.
I'm guessing.
It's his personal collection. It's his house, not his store. I thought it was.
None of these.
store.
None. Okay, for the record, he goes around to people's houses that have
Right.
different record collections. There's no stores involved. There might be one person who has a store in this whole thing. He comes across the biggest collection of degenerates, of people that should be not allowed probably 50 feet within a school of elementary school. The biggest collection of maps you've ever
Right.
seen in one big. This is the collection. We're not the record collection time. We're talking about he's collected and probably as himself comes off as
Right.
a creep. All of these people are creepy as hell, but this is a beautiful masterpiece of the underbelly of the you know what I love, music. You know, and I hope not. Look, watching this made me question my life.
Collection?
You know, well, luckily I don't have nearly as many records as any of these people. Thank God. Anyways, regardless, look.
I haven't made any attempt to count them in many, many years.
And how many CDs?
Couple thousand.
No. Sorry.
Well, I'm sure everybody says this, but I've never considered myself that much of a record collector. It's just
What word do you use? No, because
just someone who happens to have accumulated a lot of records. For a while, I went on a real James Brown binge. I mean, I've got a lot of James Brown albums, and
like what's a lot?
oh, well, it might not be a lot for some people. I remember.
All right. I'm sure it'll be a lot.
I think just on vinyl, I think I've got about 65.
I'd say that's a lot.
One thing that sort of keeps me optimistic is there is so much. There is so many records.
This guy. So yeah, and you guys are talking about black people in the chat. One thing you're going to find very, very few of in this film is African Americans.
Ladies like the vinyl?
Yeah, very few. This guy, oh my God.
The obscurity is infinite, and it's huge, and it just goes on in every direction.
Start off with the position, well, I'm not a collector, I'm an accumulator. Then you admit they have 65 James Brown albums, then you admit they have 60 Miles Davis albums. If we scratch...
Well, doesn't everybody have 60 Miles Davis albums?
If you scratch below the surface, you probably have
I have
30
two.
Coltrane records.
Yeah, I do.
And
But you know that because
no, I
everybody
don't know
has
that.
30.
No, yeah, in this sort of bongo world.
Organ and bongos. Like, where does it go?
Go with organs or bongos?
Exactly, which is like two very just like that's all organs, and that's like bongo half. Like down
Imagine if you play the records together at the same time, the Hammond organ
When I
and the
bought the
bongo.
cleaner, I decided the only way to possibly know what's been cleaned and what hasn't been cleaned is to systematically clean and play them all in order.
Right.
That's what I did.
In order, alphabetical order.
Chronological order. too.
Roots is calling that other guy White Shroot. The guy that that was
Big
very
time.
White Shroot.
That took 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years this gentleman spent.
The singles and albums combined.
But wait a second. You played all your records systematically in alphabetical
And
order.
cleaned each one once.
Let's say you were on the A's, but you had a hankering to hear something in the
I
D's.
didn't. I never did.
You just kept going.
The man had so much self-restraint.
He wouldn't,
He never did. He went from alphabetical order from ABBA to
Right.
ZZ Top. And
Right,
when he was
and wouldn't.
on the A's, if he had a hankering for Howlin' Wolf, not a chance. If he had a hankering for Weird Al, he would never skip ahead. Oh, this guy is a man of conviction, of dedication, principle, and insanity.
I stayed true.
Mania can lead you to do strange things, I guess.
Well, it's obviously led you to do some. But I mean, yours not that extreme.
No.
Yours are more gently constant.
Yeah, well, I think so. I think there
Yeah.
are freaks out there who are freakier than I am. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it that way. Yikes.
Yeah, well, that's what all the freaks say.
Good answer.
Charlie and I met in a record store, just as friends.
First you were just friends, but now...
Yes, and now we're just...
Now you're record buddies. Now these guys are gay record buddies. Vinyl homos.
Friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're still friends.
Well, no, it was a romantic story. I thought it had a romantic... I thought it had an ending that was even more romantic, but no, it just...
It's
Just we've married our record collections, and that's as far as it goes.
Right.
he's a good guy. He had this wall, and I just...
Okay, so you lived here all
Nice pose. He had a little pose. A little pose for record.
So when he said they married their collections, did they combine them? Did they? Woo.
They lived together. They moved in together because of their record collections.
Fair enough.
Well,
Okay.
they claim not, but we'll see.
Did you decide to live together because you thought it would be a good situation for records?
No, nothing to do with the records at all.
I know you were...
So they claim. They claim nothing to do. Look at this. Look at this serial killer. If this is not a serial killer right here, this next guy. And guys, and don't get me wrong, I love records. You know, as you can well see right here. You know, and I have a whole room right here dedicated to records. Except I can walk around in it, and there's only like a few. There's only like two big shelves of records, and then a little, cupboard of records.
Right.
It's not like they go up to the wall by any means. It's just 2 levels.
No, we moved.
Anyways, but these guys are creepy as hell. Look at this serial killer. Holy shit. This is from the year 2000 or 2003, I believe, around that. That's when this was made. They're both eligible bachelors. Yeah, that's right.
Being semi-facetious when you said this on the phone, but I still want to know even what the facetious meaning of it is. And that is, you said you had sort of friends who died of collecting. Like, as if that's what killed them.
Well, I'd say, yeah, partly I would say that collecting probably wasn't the cause of their death, but it was a symptom of their mental problems. In other words, some people who collect use collecting as a means to avoid facing up to things in their life that they've never actually
So
ever
he's
been
not
able
in
to resolve.
prison?
No, he's not in prison. No, yeah, he actually is. He's being interviewed from prison.
It looks like
because
he's being interviewed.
he was locked up for murdering a man at the Goodwill
Right.
over over a Village People record that he needed to finish his collection. He didn't have that one specific Village People record, and he murdered a man in cold blood at the Goodwill. Yeah, this guy. So he's in the prison. No, I'm just. Of course not. No one would ever do that, or would they?
I think a lot of it has to do with the kind of parents that you may have had. I think people who have been dominated and abused, not in a I just mean verbal abuse or
going
maybe
deep.
physical abuse, but people who have never developed their own sense of being can sometimes be people who are collectors of things.
Weird.
I know myself, I had extremely, my parents were both very opinionated and very quick to let us kids know that we were a burden, and if it wasn't for us, they'd be able to do a lot of things.
So this guy is like, just because he's using it to fill some kind of hole in his life, he's like, I assume that's everybody then. Although, we see a pattern emerge of these people though.
I don't collect albums. I collect board games, and I'd never think of my parents as to why I do it.
Is it because your dad didn't hug you enough to buy the board games?
I guess I gotta look into
your
it.
mom didn't tell you she loved you enough. You buy the board games. This guy is totally. Matt. He's either in NAMBLA or he's on the FBI's most wanted list for kidnapping and dismemberment of some kind. It's this guy.
So probably all my life I've lived with that low feeling of self-esteem. And probably collecting has been a way for me to be my own person without having to be ridiculed or basically abused.
He's fixing
verbally,
me.
So I'd say that people who
you're never gonna buy another board game in your life.
Never.
That's what I thought too. When I saw this person, I was like, well, I'm just never buying another record again. Although, except, for me the last 10 years, it's been like one record a year. It's like, it's not like a thing. Like when I lived in Ottawa for a year and I lived between the record store and where I worked, and I walked back and forth to work every day, went into the record store, and it was, it could add up to a financial problem if you keep buying fucking records and spend half your paycheck. I only did it for a year. These guys have spent their whole life doing it.
Right.
So anyways.
Who do collect sometimes can be people who have mental problems, and if they can't resolve them, they often can die of basically self-neglect.
So Roots is asking, he's like, I collect vinyl. Am I retarded? Well, no, you're not retarded, but I mean, according to this gentleman, you have severe mental issues.
Right. It's cover for some trauma.
And if you're gonna trust anybody who seems like a sane person who can really,
who's not in jail,
who's definitely not in jail, I don't know if they're trying to make him look like he's in jail or trying to like make him not look like he's in jail, but it's certainly whatever.
I see. The Curtis Mayfield story. At one point, maybe 10 years ago, Curtis Mayfield to me was the guy who did Superfly. Maybe I knew he'd been in The Impressions.
Well, not just to you. To everybody, Curtis Mayfield was the guy that did that.
Yeah.
But then I'm in his store and I see this record here, this Back to the World. And, it's a used record. And so I take a chance on it and it's pretty good. Next, I find this album. There's No Place Like America Today. Found it on vinyl, and it instantly became one of my favorite albums of all time. So I'm this Curtis Mayfield fan. I'm making tapes for people, all Curtis tapes, turning people on to Curtis like I got turned on. Fast forward 10 years, and I bought my CD player, and I'm just getting rid of records, getting rid of whatever records I can stand to get rid of. So I make this all Curtis Mayfield tape, and then I start to sell my Curtis Mayfield. all I can really think is that I did sell things because they hurt. But if I really wanted to say that I was making an attempt to divest myself, to purge myself, to be a better person, to live a clearer life, etc., etc., I had to sell some things that would hurt to sell. So I sold There's No Place Like America today, and I pretty well regret it every day since. I mean, not only do I regret not having the vinyl, but the truth is, and this is like the crux of this story, the truth is that having that CD, though it eases the pain somewhat, in another way, it doesn't help at all and even makes it worse.
I love it. Yes, Manu. New show, same day. That's right.
Right.
We've said goodbye to Jeb, and we're hunkering in now to watch this documentary, Canadian documentary on collecting records, but which you'll soon find out it's not all really about the music or records, but you'll see. So this guy just explained actually the whole kind of in a way which he'll explain more the feeling that they get. It's like a drug, basically.
Right.
The way they're chasing down the next find or the next
Well,
thing.
yeah, and he got rid of his favorite thing, and
Yes, and the loss he feels because it's like a physical kind of like connection they have to this thing, you know. And anyways, we'll get more into that as we go here.
I do not have a feeling for any CD like I had for some vinyl, especially the vinyl that I don't have anymore. If you were to say, hey man, the music's the same, like if you either like the tune or you don't like the tune, and it's like, well, yeah, the music is the most important thing. I wish it were the only thing. It's not. I'd be better off if it were the only thing, but it isn't the only thing. Yeah, if it were the only thing, there'd be no film here. It'd be just like, hey, there's great music and I have some of it. Here, here's the records I bought.
Oh, wow. I've got this one, but it's scratched.
Well, mine's pretty bad too.
Wow, look at that. Holy shit. Oh, I love Billy Vaughn. Thanks a lot. I mean, I really, is this because I'm, like, helping you or something?
No, because you were talking about this stuff and I'd rather give it to somebody who appreciates this
Oh, I
stuff
do.
than-
I certainly will.
than,
Thank you.
brought
Wow,
up.
this is hit.
The one thing about this room is that strikes me is that it doesn't look like you sell much. Doesn't look like you get rid of much.
And I'm a pack rat, definitely. Which is, it kind of sucks, but like the singles are crucial. They're excellent. There's not a lot of shitty singles here, but over the years.
And how many singles are there?
Well, at least 2,500, or.
And some of them you paid $150 for?
Well, like 5 or 6 of them. No, I didn't pay. I worked. It was like I'd work like 20 Saturdays, 5 months of Saturdays, and I'd go,
And then someone would give you the money, and then you would buy them. So yes, you did pay. I know it felt he's talking about working at the record store, and he worked, and then he got paid in records. It's the same thing. I'm not telling you. I'm just telling. I'm talking to him.
I thought you were. I
I'm like,
understand what you're saying.
It's like, sir. Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, me. $2,500 worth of records, and now it'd be like
Or money. You can take the money too. By the way, that is an option, right? If you, you could take the money. You don't have to get paid in records.
it'd be like a little bit of a treat for me to get a few like really, really nice ones that way. Just to have, I mean, I wouldn't want it if it was shit. I mean, I had to really like it. I got a plan for you. You put the stylus down and you go, that's a 10. That's a 10. There's no denying it. It's just excellent.
Top Good Days says, how many Captain Beefheart records they got? A man's record collection is defined by their Beefheart. Well, I only have, I don't think I have 2. I think I just have the 1. I think I only have Safe as Milk. Oh no, if you count Bongo Fury,
right.
With Zappa, I do have that one. So 2, I suppose.
And you can't get that sound anywhere else. You could get it on a CD maybe, but I don't have a CD player. You say, the records skip. When a CD skips, That's annoying.
That's
the difference
fact.
for soul music, for any kind of soul music. You say, I'm kind of interested in those like Chuglin instrumental kind of weird ones from the early 60s. I can make you a whole tape.
I have to ask.
And that's what a lot of the stuff is about, making tapes from these
Right.
records. The guy that's hosting the film, that's his whole thing, is he makes tapes. And he
Right.
explains why later. You know, we may or may not get to it tonight.
But doesn't he realize tapes gonna be obsolete too?
No. How would you wouldn't know that yet? This is
Oh.
the year 2000. CDs are still big.
Sorry.
CDs are it. So tapes are like the
We're not
cheaper.
in the future. I forget.
Tapes would have been starting to, be used less, but
Right.
people were still using cassette tapes though in the
Okay.
2000, just not like in any capacity like they used to.
Like, do you ever think that, like, you're just
What's
a
up, Civics a
sad
lot?
guy who hates himself, and that's why you have to have all these records?
That's a good one.
He laughs it off. If you caught that, he said, or are you just a guy that, let me just take that back, because this is the guy who is putting this video together. This is his whole attitude.
Right.
And he brings this to everyone he visits.
In those like Chuglin instrumental kind of weird ones from the early 60s. I can make you a whole tape.
I have to ask. Like, do you ever think that, like, you're just a sad guy who hates himself, and that's why you have to have all these records?
That's a good one.
You did ever think of yourself as a sad guy that just has to have all these records to feel good about himself? The guy just laughs it off. And that's the best reaction he gets, because the rest of the time it's like, this guy actually seems like, I think he might even have a wife and kid.
Ooh.
So this guy is not exactly the rest of the guys. He stands out, actually, this gentleman here.
Right.
He's not as weird and creepy as everyone else.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic sometimes, really. I mean, you know what's sad is when I'm sitting around at 2 in the morning and I'm listening to like the dreariest thing and I'm thinking, well, maybe the next song will be good. And it's like, go to bed, retard. Like, well, not I'm sorry for all the mentally impaired.
Oh, God. It's the year 2000 and we still had this stuff. Come on. Jeez, how far back do we have to go?
Whatever people, but I mean, it's a little nauseating. It's a little sad. Yeah, I think you may be right.
Somebody might say, like, wow, look at that guy going on and on about his records. That guy's got a wife and a kid. Like, how did that happen?
Don't you know how it happens?
he's looking at Alan, the host. He legitimately thinks that Alan might not know how.
I would have to agree with that.
No, I know how it happens, but
I've just never actually touched a woman.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna skip much in this documentary, but I am gonna skip the part where the gentleman's dog dies. So we'll just move along.
You're my dog. I don't know if you can, but it's like...
Because the only thing, he's a sad sack of shit, and the only thing that could be sadder is if you had an old dog that died, and that's
So the documentary guy died?
Yeah, his dog. He had a dog, and so then he starts zooming in on his sick old dog, and it's very
Right.
sad. So no need to. It's sad enough. Even I shouldn't have even mentioned it. Just put whatever.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh no! I thought it was done. Let's see here, because this guy here is
You're trying to
this guy here is Key. He is my favorite. And just in case I miss it, yes, I just don't want to put you guys through anyone's pain there, but he's trying to collect this gentleman. Now, this is he reminds me of a Troy Hurtubise, the guy who
Right.
built the bear suit. He's a Canadian legend trying to collect every song ever written.
Right.
Period. He looks like the kind of guy that can do it, if anyone can.
Why do you have all these records? That's what I'm asking.
It's a hobby.
I
I'm
mean,
trying to collect every song in the world. Once.
You're trying to collect every song in the world.
It's like stamps, yeah. Same thing.
Every song in the English-speaking world?
No, everything. I've got French and Italian right behind Mark there.
And every song of any kind.
In the world, I'm trying to. Yeah. Doesn't matter what language.
you don't have a wish list. You just know what you have in your head, what you have.
Yeah.
That's the face of a man. A man. That's the face of a man. Who's gonna own every song in the world. But what about the ones that are written tomorrow, moron? Oh my god, can you imagine? Sir, there's gonna be hundreds. Do you have my songs? You
There's
don't,
nothing new. Everything's.
How many records? Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm just guessing. You know, I really don't know.
Well, how many would you guess?
I'd say 1 million.
You are a record collector?
Yes, I am, and my name is Charles.
And I'm a registered sex offender, so I have to tell you that before we start this interview. Holy suspenders.
Rainbow suspenders.
Tom Shellac. And don't worry, Manu, we will be getting back to that gentleman. Let's go through
And
this.
I'm a record collector.
Oh,
I got almost every Monkeys album on the original label. Lots of
We
Frank
got a lady.
Zappa and the Mothers on Verve and Disc.
And she likes Zappa. She got some mothers.
And almost all the Turtles on White Whale and different things like that.
You can see Sue's shirt there. She drew Frank Zappa on there herself.
Frank
See?
Zappa for president.
I'd like to make a comment about Sue's record collecting. When I first met her, I was very surprised that a female would be so interested in the move and in groups like Zappa and all that. Sue is the only girl I know who goes to the store and collects the
Well, we should have just stopped it there. Sue's the only girl I know. What's going on with this guy's hair, by the way? He's got short. Is that the mullet there in the back?
guess.
Tied back? Short.
Oh, it's definitely stuff going on back
It's
there.
almost exclusively male fans. If you went to a Move concert, exactly. So Sue has very
Sometimes it just turns into a little gangbang in the record store.
strange taste for a female.
Yeah. Well, you know, the stuff that I immediately like, there's stuff that I have simply for having that I never actually listen to.
We're back to White Shroot.
It's an object.
I agree. You know, if I saw that record in the store, I would have to have it as well. You know, because I mean, look at that. There's an Indian in a headdress playing the stand-up bass.
Right.
That's the Sunshine Party Melodies.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Let's find it. Let's go hunting right now.
Okay.
Music's awful. Like, it's just not for listening at all. But you know, you've got to have it because you see it and you say, oh my god, you know.
Is he talking about the record now or an
I have
underage
no
child? I
idea.
can't tell. I'm pretty sure he's talking about some child he saw on the bus earlier and he wants to kidnap. I don't know.
Oh, he's so funny. This guy.
Another lady? How'd she get in here?
Hino. Have you ever heard Hino? There's a whole cult of people that are into him. He's got these very,
That's
very
hot.
dark glasses.
That's the gentleman that Mr. Pettipop pointed out last night. Hi, this is
baby.
because I was watching this and I started investigating some of these.
The gentleman.
Well, I had never heard of Hino, so I wanted to hear. What's all this Hino about? He's like a man with one name, you know, Hino. Everyone's whispering, Hino. Who's Hino? Who's this Hino? So I had to find out, and I found out, and not very interesting.
know.
Not that interesting.
I think he's albino, I'm not sure. And his voice is so deep. He is just so creepy. Like very, very German music.
I collect mainly Bolan and Donovan.
You know, in the late 70s, I went through this phase like, oh, Grand Funk is stupid and Black Sabbath is stupid and I'm going to get rid of all those records. And then, you know, in 1980 or 81, I'd go over to somebody's house and drink 12 beers and hear Iron Man by Black Sabbath and think, yeah, that's a classic. I mean, it's so stupid. How could you not have that record? And then I ended up going out and buying them all back again, you know? So for the fear of ever doing that again, as long as I've sort of liked it at one period or whatever, I hang on to it.
Alice Cooper School's Out. I mean, they really were marvelous artwork here. Opens up like a school desk. There are actually punch-out legs here. Right. The other thing about it was that it originally contained a pair of paper panties. But at a party, somebody mistook it for a pizza napkin. A big drag. And I've never been able to find the original Alice Cooper panties.
But he found them. If anyone can find panties, it's that
They
guy. Look,
mistook that for
a napkin.
Mm.
Oh yeah. You know, napkins when.
Mm.
He found the panties. Yeah, if anyone, this guy looks like a guy who's been on a few panty raids back in the 80s, eh? In his college days. Yeah, in Russia. In Russia, panties raid you. Am I right?
doesn't come with that. No, that's a problem with CDs. You can't.
You can't put panties in there.
He's very proud of those panties. I got panties. Hey, the panties. Oh, look at the panties.
This is a classic. Sadomaso Disco.
That's not the first time I've seen that even in this film. Who else has
Someone else had this?
Yeah.
Wow. You like the whip, you like it.
Yeah, it's creepy. I looked it up.
Mhm.
It's very creepy music. It's just audio pornography, basically. You know, it's
with whips.
Oh, there's whips.
Mhm.
Oh, there's whips. All right, don't worry. If you want whips, Sadomaso Disco is the band for you.
Perfect.
Little ad.
The whip.
Oh!
You like it.
If you never have enough records, you probably know that. You know you've got this list of 20 records that you're after. When you got those, you end up with another list of 20 records you're after.
For me, I'm a little different record collector. I collect music. My most
But what, sir? What are you talking about?
I don't
You
know.
collect music. All of the records contain, not all, I mean,
They
most
should.
records contain, well, some contain comedy. There's
Right.
some speeches, maybe, like an old
Sure.
JFK speech. You get the odd 3%.
He doesn't want this.
97 whatever percent
He
of.
only wants the music.
Oh God, what does that even mean?
Emotional connection is with the music.
I'm just really into music.
They all want the music.
It's not the music? No.
Then what is it? Oh, we're back to him.
I'm looking for some kind of absolution here, I think. I'm having one of those extreme moments of just get rid of all of it. Get a life.
If that's what's holding you back, Alan, yes, get a life. Sure, please. Yes, indeed. Just give your records away and get a life. If your records are causing you that much pain and suffering and agony, get rid of those records.
I was gonna. I had this idea that I would have a woman friend come to the house and stand down the hall and then call me like, Alan, what are you doing? Are you still doing that taping? Come on, we got to go to we got to go pick up Joey from daycare, or the Smiths are expecting us over for that dinner party. Did you make that bean salad you've been promising?
Oh my God, this guy's fantasizing about having friends and a life.
Super cool fun
Oh my
trip.
God,
Super cool fun trip.
Detective Habahili donated $3. Cats out of the bag. Every one of these vinyl people have touched a child inappropriately.
I don't want to. I didn't want to. Yes, thank you, Habahili.
Habahili?
Detective Habahili. That was the best reading ever. I can't disagree. It seems as though, we might have to watch back that.
Take it back a little second. He said something spicy. I forget.
Yes, I will. But if we have to, there's this famous horrible movie. I think it's called Chicken something, and it's about NAMBLA. You know those guys, those horrible guys that have that group NAMBLA, and it's an interesting documentary. And if I had to guess, I think we might find some crossover characters in this. So this guy just went on about fantasizing about having friends, and thank you again, Detective Habahili.
Yes, thank you.
But he's fantasizing about having a
Right.
wife and kids, but even friends, like even just friends.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a little weird. Let's.
Come on, we gotta go. And then maybe I'd even get her to come in and, say hi. And it's like, and then I go, oh, are you surprised that I have a wife and kids? You know, what made you think I didn't, you know? One way to end this film would be to meet the woman of my dreams. Yeah, then get rid of all the records. Not because she wants me to, but because I realize I should.
Ooh.
Except for the ones she likes.
Uh-huh.
The Joni Mitchell.
No, I mean, it made my life
Oh, my.
complicated.
Do you know who he is, though? Now this guy is somebody. Now this is a movie we watched years ago.
Sure.
Called American Splendor.
Oh.
And that's Harvey Pekar.
Right.
If you remember him, it's
I
been a
do.
long time, I understand. But
It's a great movie.
But yes, it was a very good movie. But it's probably not much of a surprise that he fits right into this group, and he does as well collect records. And
Right.
woofity boof.
The whole process of collecting records was a pain in the ass because I loved the music, but I was obsessive, you know, and compulsive, and that was why I was doing it.
Right.
You know, I mean, it had nothing to do with enjoying the stuff. I wanted everything by, you know, this guy or that guy, regardless of whether I liked it or not. Well, maybe
No,
so.
I'm looking for someplace to sit.
Why? What do you care?
Oh my God, you can't even sit in Harvey's house. Amazing.
I'm an old man.
Oh, Jim. Well, he's overweight. That's for sure. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but...
I could lose a few pounds, you're saying?
That's what it sounds like.
Probably feel a little bit. What do you think?
Fun.
I know you're not grossly overweight.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying, you know, like, I mean, I'm getting old myself, and I'm older than you.
Oh, but he does look a little bit like Pierre Trudeau in a weird way. Obviously, you know, he looks a little beefier and whatnot, but it's pretty funny. Still looks nothing like Justin.
Remember,
I know you are.
13 years older than you.
I know, but you're in better shape. And you're married. You've been married 3 times. I haven't been married once.
Why is that?
That's what I've been trying to figure out.
He thinks it's because he has too many records.
No, it's not that. No. I think that's a symptom of something.
Well, do you go out much?
I go out every night trolling for...
Trolling for what?
For anything I can get.
Is that right?
Well, sir, that might be, I think, well, another check. Detective Hobahilly. Oh my God. Trolling for anything I can get. Good God.
Anything.
All right, well, that's okay, so they've caused me problems, and they were an enormous expense at one time.
Let's go back on that I'm fat. Anyway, go ahead.
Cut it out, do what you
No, I can cut it out. I can't cut it out of my memory, though.
It might help you a little bit if you know, with women, if you lost a little weight. I'm just saying, you know.
I've had 3 girlfriends,
Yeah.
but none of them that would marry me.
How many of them were Jewish?
None of them. Yeah, you see, I think my problem is that I should have continued to go out with Jewish girls instead of stopping.
Would they go out with you?
I think
They
they
wouldn't
would.
even go out with me.
I think they would have.
They're like, I don't know. It must be the Jewish girls. If they won't go out with me, they won't go out with you. Must be the Jewish girls that have bad taste. What? I don't. Look in the mirror, gentlemen.
I think they would have.
So? Well, wait a minute, because we're getting off track. What is this film really about? Is it about music? Is it about records?
No, it's
or
not.
Or is it about collecting?
It's not about music.
It's not about music. Okay, we're clear
No.
on that. If it's not about music, what am I doing in it?
Because you're a collector.
Well, I thought you were coming here for my musical knowledge. It's like, no, I'm here to make fun of you.
What? But you see, I'm interested primarily in the music. I mean, if I weren't interested in music, why would I have the records?
Well, good question. Good question.
There's some
Oh my goodness, and we got another one here. Now, that guy kind of seemed like he made sense, you know. He just liked the music, and he's like, "Why would I?" You know, I like the guy.
Oh, totally.
The main body of the collection is.
Oh, can you turn on a light down there? Just...
No.
No.
Okay, is there a light down
Oh,
there?
yeah. This is the whole song.
Yay.
Nothing but records. To suffice to say,
Death
that's all
by
records. all the way around that
records.
Oh, can you imagine? I mean, it just feels like a fire hazard just waiting to happen there.
Hot Take Records are heavy as...
So this is what 500,000 records looks like.
Well, yeah, that's upstairs. There's probably more than that now. That was estimated 10 years ago. Even in the shit house. You want to go to the bathroom? You can look at records, too. Put the lid down on this thing here. You don't want to film that for any reason.
There's no records actually in the toilet.
No, when I first got here, you had to lift them off the toilet before you could take a shit.
So when you had hey Joke, how's it going, man? What's up?
Hi, Joe.
So when you have to go to have a crap, you have to lift records up off of
the seat.
Toilet seat.
It's nice. It gives you something to peruse.
You can peruse. Yes, you can read the record. Because I mean, of course, the great thing about records is all of the sleeves and the inside the album art and all that stuff.
Unanswerable questions. If you heard, hey, some guy's making a film about record collectors, what would you hope? What should there be in this film?
I would hope that it wouldn't just be, and partly this is because I wouldn't want to end up being just one of those about eccentric, obsessive people, the meticulous collector.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's about the meticulous collector. It's about the weird ones, though, which you were almost right there.
His albums up like, soldiers on it.
Yeah, Roots, exactly. This is the thing. I went back and forth when I was watching this. I went like, I'm throwing all my records out, but I too, Roots, I have probably about 2,000 records too. The same number as Roots, basically.
Right.
It's, when you see these guys, it makes you either, I go through phases of watching this, I want to throw out all my records, or I'm happy, I'm not buying, because I went through 1 year of compulsively buying records, really. And then people start giving you records, right? And then I went through that, but I haven't gotten a bunch of records in a long time, and I'm not looking. So I feel like
don't throw them away.
No, I wasn't planning on it. But watching this either makes me like, it makes me feel good about it too, because sometimes you're like, well, this whole room, like, it's a lot of space, but again, whatever. It's either way. But
The battlefield, the fetishists, the jazz collectors who are obsessed with the kind of purity of a pristine collection. I'd hope you also get into people like me who just want to bring in every week 50 new albums of junk and work their way through it. If across the street there was a used record warehouse, basically eventually I'd move it all over here, but it would be
You catch that too? Look at these creepy guys. Look at this.
who just want to bring in every week.
So, Baby Doll, nice. This guy is creepy as hell. But then he did
new albums of junk.
There was
worked
one
their way
quick one.
through it.
Watch
Across
this.
the street there was a used record warehouse. Basically, eventually I
Whoop. Oh, if you can see that.
move it all.
Lolita. Oh, very good. Creepy ass dude. He has an audio, the soundtrack to the movie about Lolitas and underage kids. Imagine. To me, this is like the oh my god, I'm not going to say it right. The Balenciaga. I think I might have came close. The Balenciaga thing where they zoomed in and they found the document, the court document that had the case about the decriminalizing.
So you're being a detective.
I just detected. Well,
you and Hobo. What was his name?
Hebe Illy, Hobo Illy. I don't know. It was a weird. I forget now.
Maybe you can join his detective service and you
like
could
to
be
think.
partners.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to think we could get McGruff the crime dog on there. I noticed Hillbilly Harry got a clapback from McGruff on Twitter, but McGruff is a social justice dog now. Actually, I noticed. So we got to be careful with McGruff out there.
All over here, but it would be a series of daily discoveries that would have the same effect. But so I would hope there'd be some of that.
Could just say something.
No, please, sir, don't. You're gonna end up in jail if you say anything by the looks of you. Holy Lord, look at this. Well, I just like another one who likes to troll around and get whatever he can after the sun goes down.
Here I am with my record collection.
Okay.
It got to a point, like I said, around 97, 75, where I don't know what came over me. I just sort of wanted to have everything that I could afford. Let's put it that way.
I don't mean, but I'm gonna interrupt.
These are all vinyl box sets here.
Right, there are like...
Between 30 and 40.
I'll do better than that.
There are a lot more. Over in Europe, they'll duplicate what we put out here over here. Well, then you're really spending unnecessary money to get the same package.
I thought you were saying you wanted me. I thought you were saying you had to get up. My bad.
No. I want you to take it back to the weird guy. Yes.
Okay, if we must.
Well, did you see what's behind him?
What? Those guy in the looks like he's
In his underpants?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, checks out.
Questionable?
Yeah, all of these gentlemen are questionable. And that
My
checks
goodness.
out. He was just holding up a record that said Lolita. You know?
Well, I just wanted to double check it was in his underpants.
Oh my God, no!
Is that Trudeau beside him?
Yeah. Oh my God! It's either that or young Castro. Look at that! That's so Trudeau. Is this a time traveler? This is a fruity time traveler here. The fruity time traveler. Oh my God, that's what we need. Yes, Kang. Go back in time and be like. And slaps the gun out of Martin Luther King's assassin.
Yeah.
Not today, Kang. Whoosh. Yes, that's what we need. The fruity time traveler going back and just before he's
slapping something.
Just before Hitler throws everybody in the ovens, he walks up and slaps the orders out of Hitler's hands. Like, not today, Quain. Yeah, Slay, that's right. Oh my God, this guy.
Here I am with my record collection.
Okay.
It got to a point, like I said, around that.
The fruity time traveler. Oh, I want this guy.
475. Where I don't know what came over me. I just sort of wanted to have everything that I could afford. Let's put it that way.
Everything on that shelf is Elvis.
Yeah. These are all vinyl box sets here.
Right. There are like
between 30 and 40. There are a lot more over in Europe. They'll duplicate what we put out of here over here. Well, then you're really spending unnecessary money to get the same package.
Okay, but you do have lots of duplication.
Oh yeah, for one reason or another, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have a way of working out whether the duplication is too much or...
That's right, yeah, or if it's important to me.
If they put out Elvis from Nashville to Memphis on CD, would you get it?
They're right there.
You don't need to ask. I have it. He's an Elvis collector, very specifically. Yeah.
Everything in Elvis from Nashville to Memphis, you probably have a 45 of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then you have a lot of it on original LP.
Right.
Then you have the box set on vinyl.
Right, which they had added some stuff in that had never been released before.
I see.
Okay.
And now in the CD, have they added stuff that wasn't on the vinyl?
No, it's a duplication.
Well, Hobo, I mean, unless you count Hawaii. He's just pointing out that Elvis never went overseas.
Right.
He was adding some horrible hate speech at the end after that.
If I wanted every song Elvis ever recorded, how many LPs would I need?
About 100 and roughly about 120 to 30.
You have 600 LPs.
What? No, Elvis came. Hobo chill. He was calling us the dirty foreigners, Canadians. I just caught on.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he came to Canada.
Ooh.
That was the only. I have a feeling.
Heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, Elvis came to Canada. It was the only time. He never went outside of North America.
Mm.
Yeah, he came up here to play for us dirty foreigners, by the way. He didn't want to play for the other ones. Oh my God.
345, 30 box sets, 140 CDs, and we won't count the 78s. So you approximately have every song an average of 10 times at least.
An average.
So my question is, what level of duplication beyond that?
Oh, sorry. I thought. I thought you were talking about us Canadians who said you filthy foreigners. I thought it was funny, but I thought that I wanted to correct us because I just watched something where they talked about Elvis coming to Canada, and I was almost positive that Elvis did come here for one time, Toronto.
Is there?
Europe puts out a lot of duplications.
Okay. And you don't collect those?
No, not as no, because really, what you're buying the songs over again. What you may be getting is a different picture on the front. That is all.
Yeah, that's about it.
Hello?
Let's move this. This is so boring.
Well, you can take your coat off if you want.
Wow.
I don't know what to say, because I still think this is a trap. Is it a trap?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's an other person. There's two people in this movie that are somebodies, as far as we know. One was Harvey Picar, and the second is, what's his name?
You're gonna make me think
Don something McClellan or McClellan.
McKellen
or something like that. He's a famous Canadian filmmaker.
very good.
That's why we don't know his name.
Right.
Because he's one of the most renowned filmmakers in the country.
But I know his
Don
face,
something or other.
and
Oh,
it's good. His name is Don.
Story.
I
guess the reason I.
And that was his big cameo.
That was it?
No, I think he's in it later on.
Okay.
But it is funny how quickly cut this is.
Wow.
Say that this is true is because if it weren't true, it's something I'd want to make up. The other day, somebody visited, and it's something that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't making this film. I think my the vinyl in my racks there was moved around more than generally I would on any given day move it. Okay. Anyway, that night I just saw a mouse over where the records are, darting in and out of the record cabinet. And the mouse came out of one of the racks where the vinyl is. In fact, the mouse emerged from the jazz section.
Ooh, that dirty rat. Dirty jazz rat. I thought it was jazz cats. You would think that would be the last place the mouse would be. Wouldn't the mouse think that there'd be a bunch of jazz cats around there? So he, rats like jazz apparently. Huh. Who knew?
At first I just put the traps in likely places in the kitchen, but then the first time I saw them,
he's got records in his. Look at the records
in likely places in the kitchen.
In the dishpan.
In the drying pan there, he's got records. And also, why does he have this thing
First
here
I
of
just
the
put
human intestines?
the trap.
Why does he have that on his fridge? That's kind of weird too. I would say.
In likely places in the kitchen, but then the first time I saw a mouse again was again in around my records.
In
So
the
then I put
jazz
some traps
section.
there. In fact, I created a wide corridor in my jazz section. I had first seen the mouse.
He thought, well, you know, they were there once. They're gonna keep coming back there for sure because they know what the good jazz is.
Right.
They know where the good jazz is. Is he washing them? Yeah, yeah. The records are waiting to get washed.
That's what it looked like.
It sure does.
Like, come on, you know, sounded like between Coltrane and Miles Davis. Made the journey. And we got
Did you see that? He even had the little.
I
mouse.
saw.
It went quick.
between Coltrane
He's
and
putting it in there,
Miles
fake
Davis,
mouse. Oh,
made
go
the
eat it,
journey.
boy! Oh, you saw
And we
it.
got you.
Fail.
Okay.
Oh, he got it.
Close up, so I want you to turn to the camera.
Oh, I see, because most of the time it's been like.
Yeah, no, but that's okay. I want you to turn to the camera. Don't move.
I like your alternative rock collection.
The vinyl.
Yeah.
Basically, like you will walk away from this telling other people that I'm cool.
Is that you after?
Well, essentially.
Maybe I should say you should get him to make a tape for you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got nothing else to do. Get him to make a tape for you.
That's what he lives for.
I'm happy to report I did get one mouse. It was in a trap.
Okay, we don't need to see.
Pardon me?
We don't need to see the dead mouse.
No. Good job.
So, here we have a lady that enjoys. Guess what? What does she enjoy?
Elvis?
Oh, there you go, Elvis. That's right. This lady enjoys Elvis. She may be married to the guy that has all the Elvis records. I'm not 100%. But listen, so it's
Maybe you could come on.
You're not in the way of the big picture. You're in front of the big picture. So does this mean that you're...
When she sits around the big picture, she sits around the big picture.
Are you
Turn
part
off
two,
your
or-
TV.
No, but I am now because my
Fair enough. Holy shit, please turn off your goddamn TV. Look at that thing. Oh, the glare.
supports me in a big way.
This here was actually a pink shirt. So what my wife did, she
painted what they call a suede paint that they have now, and she did it in red. Then she got these rhinestones and put them in here.
What I try to do is every occasion, like if it's Christmas or his birthday, I get him something new, but then I take something old, something that he has in the house, and I rewrap it.
Yeah.
And I'll like
You don't have
paint it, or I'll do something really like Elvis-y with it.
So she'll take old stuff and paint it.
Right.
So generally, you know, when
And
you
re-gift to stuff he's already owned.
give him stuff he's already owned, first off, but making it
Possibly ruin it.
possibly less valuable.
Right.
If you're a collector.
But
generally
with
you
love.
don't like improve old pieces with like, you know, by adding paint.
She will.
But she does. Okay.
You know, most of the men in the film, their wives at best tolerate it.
Whoa!
But you participate. That's nice. How long did you collect country music?
Okay. This guy is a treat. Enjoy.
Mhm.
This guy's been wronged. This guy's been wronged big time. You wait and see.
I collected country music since about 1942.
Wow. So that was all 78s then?
Of course.
And where is your 78 collection?
Well, you have to talk to the ex about that.
Oh, the ex. This is not going to be pretty.
It was all lost in a divorce.
Okay, now...
I would imagine half it's going to end up, 3/4 is going to end up in the garbage.
Let me ask you this. Like, some people would say, oh, that's a tragic story. He lost all his records in an alimony thing. But other people would say, oh, good for him. Like, he's free.
Well, you see, I don't want to get into that personal area too much.
Well,
But my argument is the whole situation should never have happened. It's extremely impersonal and selfish of her to force me to lose the collection for the sake of a little bit of money. I was offered half of the collection. I said, no, half of $1 is not good without the other half.
Well, unless you really needed 50 cents.
And she got 98% of all our worldly goods, so to speak. Why couldn't I have had this? And so to break it up after a lifetime of collecting is the frustrating part.
She got
There's
you
no
good.
doubt that no matter how...
Oh yeah, we're going to get back to that guy, don't you worry. But, oh, and this guy too.
She got him right where it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But like 1942 he started collecting records? Ouch. Yeah, that's rough.
How easily you and I might talk. This is not the apartment of an extremely social person. I mean, okay, maybe it is, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like somebody who prefers things to people, and a lawyer who...
You could well be right.
And a lawyer, I mean...
I think you're right. There was a point in my life when I had cancer about 15, 16 years ago. And it was like, it became an affirmation, like I might order something through the mail, and it was sort of 50-50, you know, am I going to last? And a rational person might look at it and say, well, like, why are you doing this? Because you might not be alive, you know, to play this thing, you know? And yet I felt, well, this is sort of like, so long as I'm continuing to do this, it's lunacy, but there's some affirmation there.
It's just a hobby, like, you know.
No, I know it's just, but like, okay.
No harm in it.
No, I know. No.
Still ask me why. People have asked me many times that question that you said. Why?
So now he's starting to ask questions that are starting to probably get under these guys' skin a little bit.
Right.
You can tell he's starting to agitate people just a little bit. This is the gentleman, of course, who wants to collect every record in the world. Every song in the world. Every song in the world. I feel like I need reverb on my voice. In the world.
Why do I collect so many of them?
And you don't know. If somebody said to me, I have every pop single ever recorded, I would say, well, I doubt it, but maybe you're close. But if somebody...
I think I'm close.
Right, but if somebody said to me, I had every record ever made, I would say, no, you just don't. I don't care what you say.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm saying, why don't you choose something that's more accomplishable than what you've chosen? It's just all or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
I tried to collect every Atari game ever made.
Yeah, but the thing is, they stopped making them at a certain year.
Exactly.
You know, you have a lot of Atari games. Yes, that was part of your addiction back 20-some years ago. Now they're on some shelf in the other room there.
Looking good.
Yeah, so they're very cute. But the point is, yeah, almost every Atari game. Almost. You probably used to have a list of which ones you needed.
Oh, yeah.
But at least they
I'm
stopped
close.
making them, and there's no chance they're going to be making any more and booting up the old Atari game factory. So you could possibly end up if you...
I could, but there's few. They're ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
so you're not going to pay like $50 for an Atari game, whatever the fuck they are.
50 be cheap, yeah.
Even E.T., we have E.T.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we have E.T. The game that does nothing.
Nothing.
The game
Fall
does
in a hole.
nothing. But, anyways, maybe sometime we'll go through the Atari game someday here. But this guy's just being challenged.
So close.
This guy's being challenged. But okay, again, they've stopped making them in 1980, whatever. And
Right.
This guy wants every song in the world in the year 2000. When they're still making records and songs and whatever, you know, like it's completely unobtainable.
Correct.
It's completely nuts.
Right.
Ever. Name a song, I'll show you where it is.
Ooh, test
How's
him.
that grab?
The face on him!
Test him.
It's just all or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I'm pretty close to every pop single ever. Name a song, I'll show you where it is. How's that grab? Name any pop or rock song around it.
Look at that face! Look at that face! He's like, name a song, I'll show you where it is. Challenge me, bro! If I can't find it, I'll cut your nuts off and shove it in your mouth. And then next comes your heart. And then I'll disembowel you. And then the limbs come off. And then oh my god, this guy's ready for a tear.
How's that grab? Name any pop or rock song around. Look.
Right.
But not English.
No, I know, but how about Israeli?
The cocky
How about
SOB.
I've got Japanese and Chinese records still on the plastic in the corner.
I got him.
Israeli? Probably.
He's intense about his records. This
I'm
guy,
getting all the songs in the world.
this guy's like, but what about, Israeli music? What about Japanese music? What about, well, there's a lot of other countries too. Yeah, obviously this guy cannot collect every song in the world, Al, and that's obvious. But by him calling him out on it is making him angry.
Oh.
I'm not too sure. I bet I have Portuguese music. Yes, I have every single country that I know of in here.
But you're keeping these, right?
But I don't play them.
Oh.
There you go.
Merry Christmas. My annual Christmas night, movie night, brought me
You're
to
at the
leaving
sheriff
Las
with
Vegas.
Yeah,
Nothing
exactly.
Man.
Yeah, this is the year 2000. It might be, it's not 1997. It might be the year 2003 even.
Ooh.
But it's at least, it's the year 2000 almost for sure. I mean, anyways, yeah.
Great. Like, I'm not going to do what the character in the film did, but it's strange how a film about drinking yourself to death could make somebody like me think, I probably should drink more.
Yeah, it'd be like me watching this and saying, hey, I should buy more records. Start collecting records. Start putting more time into that.
All these guys seem so happy.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, this guy's the real sad sack here, going around all these guys and crushing their little stupid dreams of like owning every
Right.
whatever, categorizing their records alphabetically. That guy that looks like he should have a stapler from Office Space. Really, we'll get back to him too. It's a pretty funny exchange later on.
I really wish I had a way of toasting all of you. But, I killed another. Well, India has another team. And that's
We
really
don't need
the
to.
rest
We don't need to see dead animals, Alan. You know, if there's one thing, if I was making a documentary about record collecting, the one thing I would make sure I had multiple scenes of was animals dying, because God knows that's one thing everybody loves. God, why would you put dead animals in your movie about record collection.
He's showing how he's a hero. He killed 2.
Oh my goodness. Yes, here we go. We have another instance of Patrick Crazy, much like Troy Hurtubise.
Right. I see it.
That's right, Patrick Crazy 2.0. He's not in a bear suit. He's in the record store.
But people who like classical music exclusively when they're 13, 14 want to be adults right away.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never ever thought about that. This is the first time I've ever heard a thought like that. If you had asked me back when I was 14, I probably wouldn't have said, no, I feel like an adult. I was arrogant even back then. I probably would have said, no, I feel superior to everything else.
Well, whatever.
But not adult. No, it's not the same thing.
Piano, all that. You hear Broadway shows, sort of pops orchestral music.
So let's just see if we can tell if this gentleman is straight or not by his musical collection.
You need to ask.
Let's find out. We start off with Broadway shows.
Here is jazz, orchestral music down there, sort of along here. Classical violin, classical flute music. These are just sort of box sets, miscellaneous stuff that doesn't kind of fit here comfortably. And they go there. And these are the big, huge box sets.
Wow. You know, again, I don't want to offend your mother standing over my shoulder here. What I'm asking is, have you made the sacrifice of not having your own apartment in order to continue to buy?
This is comfortable here.
Okay, so now we start.
Somebody lives with his mom.
So this guy lives with his mom, and probably himself trolls around at night for anything he can get.
All right.
But this guy's starting to call him out on it. Let's see how that goes. And yes, he does. He looks like he's straight out of The Outpost. He is straight out of The Outpost for sure.
There's a pool out in the backyard. I have space for my piano. I have space for all my stuff. I've grown up here. I'm very comfortable here.
It'll be comfortable here when you're 50 and 60 and 70.
I've lived on my own. I've lived on my own, and I'm very busy. There will be weeks at a time, sometimes, where I don't see either of my parents.
Busy. He's very, and the way he said that was telling. Very busy.
Sleep here.
Right. Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't live at home.
I practice the piano here.
I'm not saying you shouldn't live at home because you might run into your parents. I'm saying you shouldn't live at home because you shouldn't.
Are you asking me to justify?
No.
I don't justify anything about myself.
We have a good old standoff here. You asking me to justify, bro? Bro, justify this.
Okay.
If you want to talk to me about the record collection, that's fine. But justify would, I think, imply that I really give a damn what anyone thinks.
I don't think anything.
How I live my life.
No.
And I don't. I had a girlfriend who would just try and.
A girlfriend. I assume he just means a friend who's a girl. There's nobody with that many cassette tapes of Broadway shows and orchestral music.
I don't know. It was quite the eye roll he gave her.
Gave who?
His girlfriend.
Oh,
and he's like, oh, good.
I had a girl. Oh wait, he had a girlfriend. He had a
Right.
beard. I once had a beard, and then I had to shave her off.
and hash things out verbally. And I said to her, I just cannot.
Oh, exactly. You have to. I remember this now. What he says here. This is unbelievable.
What anyone thinks.
Oh, and by the way, you're welcome that I'm so awesome and have never said anything like this to you. Can you imagine if I would say this to you? Just wait for it.
I don't think anything.
How I live my life.
No.
And I don't. I had a girlfriend who would just try and hash things out verbally. And I said to her, I just cannot compete because I'm just used to sort of letting it ripple out of my fingers. So she'd been in therapy for a couple of years about something that had happened. So she was just used to talking about everything that was in her heart, on her mind, and I was just used to playing out everything that was in my heart and my mind, and it was just no contest. And I said to her, until you're willing to sit down and take piano lessons and play the piano so that I can hear some of the stuff that's going on, I'm...
Ouch.
I just kept getting tripped up with words.
He cannot comprehend.
So
Wow.
he gets into a disagreement with his lady, and he says, "Oh no, this is not going well. I can't even until you learn how to speak through music. We can't even.
Yeah.
We're done. I can't even understand what these simple words coming out of your mouth even mean until you learn to play the piano."
Right.
You're welcome, by the way, that I'm not any level of this kind of crazy.
Hector?
How I spent my Christmas vacation, essentially buying, listening to, and marking down
gay porn.
The
Ooh.
usable cuts on easy listening records.
Oh yes, because he makes tapes. That's right.
Right.
That's what he does. He makes tapes.
So I've just been amassing it. You know, you're looking through piles of records from a culture that wasn't your own, but which ran parallel to you during your life. You're coming home with piles of this stuff that you might as well have bought it in
Yeah.
bulk. You might as well have just bought, give me a bag of easy listening for $20, and then for all you know what it is. I mean, I make some discerning choices, or choices that I think have some sense to them, but essentially I'd be better off saying, here's $10, give me a big bag of crap.
Nice album covers, though.
Mhm.
Some of those album covers were very nice. Can you imagine, though? This guy had seen one.
You just go, you don't give it more of a chance.
No, I'll give it more later when I'm desperate. It's just records, right? If you don't find it now, so long as you're interested in like going out and you keep buying records, you're bound to find it.
You're bound to find it eventually.
Yeah, it's gonna come around.
The first time I heard Dionne Warwick's Paper Mache, like it practically brought me to tears, and I didn't know what to do with it because I
Wow, another whammon with records.
felt like it had
Was that
really
another
sort
one?
of informed the way that I see the world on a really profound level, and it has a way of sort of carving a space for itself in your brain that is just like, and it just makes you want to get more and more of this stuff, and you know, to the point where you're not paying 25 cents a record, you're paying fucking $20 for the thing, you know? And it's like, it really does become an obsession.
My obsession came to a froth, you know, when CDs were being celebrated, heralded as the savior of music. It made me angry, partly because it was industry dictating what was clearly a falsehood. A deliberately inferior system set out
Those
to
are some,
market.
those are some beautiful things you get with records.
If you play a Beiderbecke record like a Wolverine's Jeanette from 1923-24, that record came out in 1923. You're holding something in your hand that Beiderbecke did. That's out in 19...
I mean, look at this man. I mean, that's a man right there. How many other men now? He sticks out like a sore thumb. I don't think he's on the same list as these other guys. I think he's on the possible murder for hire list. I'm pretty sure you can hire this gentleman to kill someone and hide them in his record collection. You look at his records. There's no vinyl in there. It's all just like tiny slivers of human
I'm
bodies.
just noticing his collection. Wow.
Oh, it's up to the ceiling. But inside those records, you know, because he also is a butcher, and he slices little tiny slivers of all the peoples that he murders, and then slides them in, so they're all filled with. Well, first he throws them in the. He makes them
You
into
seem
jerky.
to know way
He makes
too
jerky.
much.
He puts them in the jerkifier.
1923, you're holding something in your hand that Beiderbecke did. That's the closest I'm going to get to what it was done originally. You know, other than standing over his grave, I'll be 6 feet away from him at that point. And for some
That's
reason,
cute.
the music
Whoa, I want that.
Meaning to me than if I were to play
All
a
right.
CD that's just been manufactured in the past month.
I had the same conversation with Geddy Lee when I went to that art show. I was just getting into CDs at the time and I didn't like them. And I said to Geddy Lee, you know what?
So he says to Geddy Lee, wow, that's the Canadian sentence for you. Look at this guy
Mm.
talking to Geddy Lee at an art show. So
Right.
this actually is a big debate about CD versus vinyl.
But I really miss record albums. I like vinyl. There's something warm and soft and nice about vinyl, whereas CDs sound cold and harsh. Geddy Lee completely opposed what I said. He said there's nothing better than CDs. Geddy Lee really likes them. Neil Young hates CDs. I read about it. He just hates them.
There's the story right there, right?
Yep.
Geddy Lee likes
That's
it.
the
Neil
story.
likes it.
That is
Yep.
story.
Sorry, Geddy, but
You'll go along with Neil.
yeah.
Later on, after I had spent countless hours talking about it with people and comparing and still being passionately faithful to the vinyl medium, a musician, Geddy Lee actually, explained to me, you know, your brain is simply wired to a nostalgic sense of audio distortion.
What a party pooper Geddy Lee is going around shitting on everyone's love of vinyl, by the way.
Mm.
Or is he trying to, like, you know, kick in the realism? And by the way, everyone's talking to Geddy Lee.
I'm
By-
freaking-
By the time you, if I ever get to talk to Geddy Lee, I won't feel so special now. I feel like, well, it's just my turn. In this country, everybody gets 5 minutes with Geddy Lee, just in case you Americans didn't know.
And should you talk about vinyl?
Well, I don't think I'd want to to say that I like vinyl better than CDs, because then Geddy Lee would just give me the same old song and dance about how much CDs are so much better. And do I care if his opinion has changed in 20 years? No, I don't really care. But if you didn't know that, to all our American friends down there in America land, yes, everybody in Canada gets 5 minutes with Geddy Lee. It's just an order of, age or whatever. So I'm still waiting.
Right.
I think my time will be around 2027. I think I get 5 minutes with Geddy Lee.
Right.
Yeah. You'd think that being a bass player and would put me ahead in the line a little bit, but no, it's very chronological. That's very
Ageist.
Oh, it's very ageist. Yeah.
You hear warmth, you think you hear space, grandeur, subtlety, nuance, all these things. But actually you're just satisfying an old recording in your brain.
Now, I really feel bad that I didn't bring some. If I'd known your taste, I would have brought some goodies from my reject thing, but you have more with
What? If I would have known, I would have brought you some leftovers. I would have brought you some scraps of crappy records that I don't want anymore. I would have given to you.
Isaac Hayes live.
Whoa, this guy just got some reaction, some visceral reaction to females.
They love the DM orbit.
This is the one and only time this gentleman has ever made any woman react in any capacity.
Isaac Hayes live. Okay, well, I'll bring that over today after I go.
He just got so hard. He's like, a girl can make that noise? I wasn't aware of that. Wow, that's amazing.
Wow. Sometimes I think that nothing that I think about anything has any meaning because I don't have kids. Like, I've lived too long not to have kids.
Well, I mean, you're just kind of a sad dude, Alan. I mean, I don't know. It just seems, in general, that's your disposition.
And now everything I think and feel is suspect because of that.
Yeah.
Well, you could make them up. You do that. I've seen.
What's he just gonna make up? Pretend he
Yeah.
has kids?
Well, yeah, Tommy or Timmy, I forget who he made.
Yes, he's going through his fantasies. Oh, this guy's all kinds of fantasies. You should hear some of these fantasies he has.
Mhm.
He goes into some details about why he's making the tapes. He has some good fantasies. And let's see here.
I don't think that's such a stupid idea. I've wanted kids for 6 or 7 years. There have been periods in that 6 or 7 years when I really wanted them, really wanted them.
And that's when the missing person accounts went very quickly it escalated in my neighborhood. The accounts of missing persons increased significantly during those periods of my want of a child.
Dreamt about them, couldn't hear about kids, couldn't visit my friends' kids.
Well, being court ordered not to is one thing.
I don't
Do
think
you
there
see what's in the background?
What the me and myself? Who is that now? It's
That tells your daughter about sex.
Oh my god! I didn't even catch that. I was too busy looking at
Some doctor.
who I can't. I'm still trying to figure out who the black guy is. I know who he is, but I can't think of his name. It's not Billy Ocean. It's not George Benson. Anyways, whatever. The other one though tells your daughter about sex. What is that? Doctor something. Oh, one sec here.
hear about kids, couldn't visit my friends, dreamt about
Doctor.
them, couldn't hear about kids,
Dr.
couldn't
Earl
visit my
Goldsmith
friends' kids.
tells your daughter about
I don't
sex.
think there was this choice.
Whoa! Who's this doctor? Is it Dr. Earl?
Kids.
Yeah, Dr.
Couldn't
Earl.
visit my friends.
Why are we letting this Dr. Earl tell our daughters about sex? What the?
I was very confused. Me and my
Dr. Earl? Jeez. Louise, he sounds like another creeper. These people are just hiding these things, or the Lolita and all this shit in there. It's just weird, man. Why would you have that?
Friends' kids. I don't think there was this choice, spoken or unspoken.
Not Dr. Hook. That's who taught your sister about sex.
Kids and a wife, or lots of records and books and freedom and loneliness and whatever. It's not like in order to have kids, I should have done something different.
Yeah, that's debatable, actually. It's and hey there, Chris. Oh God, how's it going there, Chris? Indeed, but you could have probably done a couple things differently. You know, I don't know. I don't even know if it has anything to do with collecting records related. You know, there's probably all kinds of things that have nothing to do with collecting records that are the reason or reasons why you don't have female companionship on a regular basis nor children.
But I think I would have had to be somebody different. I think one of the
that's a fair point. You would have had to be somebody different. And God damn, what's
reasons I want kids is they say your life really changes, and I want my life to really change. No matter how much I might miss whatever it is I'm supposed to have now, freedom. I've had enough freedom.
He's ready to let go.
He's had enough freedom. Well, welcome to 2020. Yeah. You're in for a treat, Alan. And I don't think he's still alive, Alan. Should probably try to get an interview with him, even though he's like a very well-renowned filmmaker. You know, I don't think he'd ever come on our show, but holy Lord, he comes off like a sad one in this one. Yes, he's had enough freedom. Well, he must have been very happy with the last couple of years.
Listen, how many albums do you have?
Not that many. I got as many jazz as 2 of your compartments there.
So you're making this big thing out of collecting, and you don't really have that much stuff yourself.
Because I've owned 1,000 in my life, but I sell. I bulimically purge myself of them on a.
That's a good. Boy.
I will say this. It made me think, though, that I should go through these records and just, pick out some of the ones that are completely, that I'm never going to...
That you don't care about.
Yeah, and get rid of those easily. There is a lot of junk in there. And that's, but all in good time. And that's what this...
New
thing...
walls?
Well, I mean, exactly. We'll go through them and see what's there, for better or worse.
A constant...
Roots, that's right. You call your daughter. I know, he's very sad with the kids thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. He definitely makes me feel, and that's the other thing, because, look, I'm pretty sure that not everyone that doesn't have kids feels this way, all the time. Maybe sometimes we all, and it's true, children, as, they do change your life, you know. But anyways, I don't want to. This guy is, you know, needs some help. I think it has less to do with the children and more to do with his whole personality.
Well,
Right.
I have to eat it, and then I have to get rid of it. Oh, okay. Oh, come on. So at what point did you stop living with your collection?
In 1986, moved from Ottawa to Toronto, and we ended up in the smallest apartment, I think, in the world. So my brother took the collection of what was probably close to 2,000 records. What happened eventually is that my brother moved, and I didn't know what to do with the records. And as recently as like 3 years ago, to phone used record stores. At that point in time, they were saying no vinyl. They didn't want any vinyl. So finally it got down to the date where my brother was leaving his apartment. I had nowhere to take all these records, and we made the decision to dump them.
Oh,
Okay, go.
look at this. Look. Oh.
I suppose I could have tried harder to find a home for them.
Yeah, I could have tried hard to find a home for them.
He
2,000
could have
records.
just left them in the box somewhere in the bin.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he had to put them in the dumpster. I mean, I know everyone loves to dumpster dive. Everybody.
I guess it was for dramatic sense, but
I guess. And, you know, the fact is, why would you have footage of that anyway? Did they recreate that? Did they dump someone else's records in for this film? Or
I don't
did
know.
he tape it and
Right.
give it to him? I don't know. There's so many questions.
Mm.
Right on. So yeah, he threw them out.
But there were certain prospects that I was rendered uncomfortable by. The idea of all these people flipping through the collection and presiding over its dismantling and what they would dismiss and what they wouldn't like. I suppose all those things, you know, played into it.
You tell this story and you talk about it as being purely convenience, and I say no. There was perversity here. Ridding yourself of your past.
So it sounded like he didn't want a bunch of undesirables going through his record
Right.
collection, picking out what they deemed to be good. And so he'd feel insulted if whatever they left. He'd be like, "Oh, well, that wasn't good enough for you." So if he, I think this is what he says here, if he can't have them, no one can. Imagine. And good evening to Roots and his daughter in there, I believe.
In a
How do you do that?
aggressive manner. I want you to say it. Okay, say it. I dumped 2,000 records in a dumpster.
I dumped 2,000 records in a dumpster.
Made him
So
say
that
it.
nobody but me could ever have.
So that they would ever belong only to me. I even picked a dumpster that I didn't think anybody would find them in. At that point in time,
Amazing.
I was able to see that collection as disposable. I don't have huge regrets about what I did. It was an act of will. It was decided upon. It was cold-blooded and it was premeditated.
It was an act of God, it sounds like he said. He just put out a hit on his records. And again, this guy also, too, looks like he is on some kind of list for being date rapey. I don't know. I hate to say it, this guy doesn't look too slick either. Look at that. Look at that face. Would you... I wouldn't trust, you know, my daughter with this gentleman. Or my sister, or my... I don't know.
So you don't have regrets, but you've told me that not a day goes by that you don't remember doing it.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true.
You see, I have this theory about posters.
What's up,
and you
Paul?
will find that the ones that have the computer-generated posters, or the ones that look really slick, they've spent so much time working on their poster that they don't have a whole lot of stuff, and usually they're not a great garage sale.
So, sir, are you saying you can read a book by its cover?
I think he
Well,
knows what's up.
If we're judging a book by its cover, sir, then I'm looking at you and I'm thinking to myself, you know, things aren't going to go very well in prison for you, sir.
Oh.
And like the ones that just say, you know, garage sale, 30 olive. Those are the ones where you're more likely to find stuff, you know, because the people, they just want to get rid of their stuff, so they pull out all their stuff, throw it on the lawn, then they think, oh, I better make a couple of posters, you know, and then they slap it up. And those are probably going to be the better ones, whereas these ones where they spent a whole lot of time making up their posters, they haven't had time to dig through their stuff and pull out all the good stuff, you know?
So he's saying when you have a quickly made sign, it means that there still might be some good stuff left in their stuff because they didn't go through the stuff and really carefully care about all their stuff. You know, when they have this, when they have the fancy sign, they've had the time to make the fancy sign, go through all the stuff, pull out the good stuff, leave the bad stuff, so I get to only the bad stuff. So he won't go to any of these fancy signed yard sales or garage sales.
No, they go, okay, we're gonna have a garage sale. Let's make a poster. Is this the Joe Payne that you meant? But this isn't the guy that you were thinking of, right? No.
Roy Payne's a Newfoundland singer.
Roy Payne, yeah, Roy Payne.
Newfoundland singer. Ah, he's got some Newfies on vinyl there. That's cool. Yeah, I hear you.
Roy Payne. Roy spells his name differently from that.
Yeah, P-A-Y-N-E.
That's right. You know your country, don't you?
All kinds of music. Spent 40 years in it.
Oh, yeah?
Manu says these guys need more sadomaso in their lives. That's right.
What did you used to do? Did you used to play?
Studio, New York. Here.
Oh, yeah. What's your name?
Don Steele.
You're kidding! I have your record.
I don't think so.
Yeah?
What's it called?
One side, Don Steele Sextet on Chateau.
Yes.
Yes?
95.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he just names Don Steele's his name, and he's like, "Well, what are you, a famous recording artist?"
I don't believe this. This is amazing. It's steel guitar rack.
Yeah.
On one side.
So he just, yeah, you got it. This Don Steele guy, he's like, just happens to be named Don Steele. He's like, yeah, I'm a famous guy, sure. I'm sure it is. I'm just joking.
And the flip side is an original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take one.
That's it.
I don't even have a copy myself.
You know what? I might have a spare. Well, sure. I mean, then we should get together. You can come
There it
over.
is. There you go. Don Steele Sextet. Take one. He's going to give it to Don Steele himself.
That is so sweet.
Isn't that cool? That's pretty cool. It would be funny, though, if that guy's name was just Don Steele, and then, because he never said anything that would, so he did say take one at the end, so it was obviously him.
No, I know, but like, to know that 45...
How would he know that name? Don Steele is by no means a well-known guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a record of you.
Yeah, right, isn't that something?
Yeah, I can't believe that I met you. This is amazing. I'm so happy. This has made my day, really.
Did something for mine, too, I'll tell you.
As a collector, what impels you to go on and search for this stuff is finding that magic.
Root says he just got the God Dad bullshit report. What am I talk sense into it? Listen, a couple years ago, I had a 14-year-old girl living with us here, and
it's not easy.
those conversations that I had to endure in the evenings were the worst, awkward things. God bless her. I loved her. The little sweet girl.
17 today.
Oh well, there you go. Happy birthday to Ray. But oh my God, I know as much about 14-year-old girls as I do about motor vehicle repair routes and, or sports. These things are not in my wheelhouse. Young lady, howdy do there, and hope you're having a great evening.
Yes.
And all of that. Your dad is a fine gentleman and a scholar.
Oh.
But he's not in Alan Zweig's documentary, though. Unfortunately, your dad did not make it into this documentary.
Does not have a vinyl problem.
Not a problem. He does have a record collection, though.
Sure, but
we
not
have
a
about the same
problem.
amount of records, it sounds like. Hey, Roots, we should combine our record collections like those two
Lord.
guys earlier. We could just have a matrimony of music.
Finding that song you haven't heard before. That song has been elusive. There's not a bigger zing than hearing a song that you haven't heard, that you've been chasing down and chasing down. You've seen references to
If
it.
anybody knows about zings, it's this guy. You can't feel a bigger zing than that.
Discographies, and you've never been able to find it. And you're always looking for those zings. And also, when you're looking through, you go to a record show and you look through stuff, you're looking for that picture sleeve that you haven't been able to find. And that's another zing, another piece of magic.
Zing.
As a collector, I'm always looking for the magic. Where's the magic going to come?
Right, but there is a big distinction between literally a song they've never heard and a picture sleeve, which is a picture of Bolan, which you've seen many, many pictures of.
Yeah.
Here's a strange thing I find so far about record collectors. They never know how many records they have. Do you know?
I got close to 32,000. So
This guy knows his numbers. And next, sir, how many bodies have you buried underneath your house? Oh, I'd say close to probably 450.
This is a little black book that I have, and this is one of about maybe 5 or 6. This begins in 1966-67. That year, from February the 28th
Wow.
to February the 28th, I junked 661 records.
Junked meaning?
That I picked them up or whatever.
You found them in...
Whatever.
And what do you call it junking? Most people call junking getting rid of.
No, junking, I go and get them. Junkets. When I went to the
goes on a junket to
IAGRC
get
convention
them.
in Tampa, Florida, August the 6th to the 25th.
Not like the other guy who was junking them.
Jesus Christ.
This is meticulous. This is all of the trips and what he's bought. It's you imagine.
1986. These are the pages documenting all the records that I junked on my trip. So I know what I've been doing.
Do you think of yourself as an obsessive person?
Yeah, I do. That's a hard question. Because I'm obsessive about records for sure. I'm always looking, even when I don't mean to. And I'm always thinking about them, and it sort of works even when I don't want to. I mean, I dream about them.
Right.
Yikes. He dreams about records. Good God.
He likes the fun.
That's terrifying.
That kind of stuff.
What are you doing when you dream about?
It's funny. Often I dream about records that don't exist.
I'm on my way to this collector's house to interview him. It's a drive that I take into the country, and ironically, this collector collects country music. And I've heard he's got a big collection. I think to myself, I wonder if he'll have Satan is Real by the Louvin Brothers, a record that I'm
classic
looking for. I wonder if it'll be for sale. Now, I think to myself, okay, finding it, seeing it, holding it in my hand, that'll be cool. I've never seen a copy of it. I've seen a picture of it. Having him say to me,
Is he talking about records or women? I can't figure it out sometimes.
idea.
Like, I've heard of women. I've seen a picture of a woman once.
yeah, I got one, will be cool. That'll be nice. Having him say to me, yeah, I got one and it's for sale. That would be a kick, a thrill, make my heart jump a beat. Problem is that I think the very next moment won't be so nice.
Exactly.
The excitement, anticipation, whatever.
It's like, it's leading up to buying the drugs, You're high on the thought of getting high. And once you do the drugs, it's over.
I'm looking for it will be gone. I got it. Obviously, I'm not going to say that not having a record is more fun than having it. But there can be a letdown. Is that all there is kind of feeling when you finally get something you wanted for a while? Unless that's success or children or happiness. That might be worth having better than even finding. I don't know. That's your complete collection of CDs?
Of CDs. I don't collect CDs. I don't even have a CD player, but I supplied them with the record on one of the CDs.
I have a Hank Thompson CD myself.
Oh, this Hank Thompson, I wrote one of the songs on. That's why I've got that one.
You wrote one of the songs on the Hank Thompson record?
Time Wounds All Heals.
You wrote? Okay. You know what? I just listened to that in the car.
See, well, I wrote that. Actually, I co-wrote it with Hank. And when it comes right down to it, I only wrote the title.
That is so weird. 'Cause time...
Manu does bring up a good point that all these men are now crying into their Spotify accounts. Or I would have to guess. Some of them are probably not with us anymore. If I had to guess, they're gone to the big record store in the sky.
Yeah, that's on. Yeah. What was it you were asking about the Louvin brothers?
Oh, the Louvin brothers. Well, they're my heroes, and I have a sort of ambition.
This box is Louvin brothers.
The whole box is Louvin brothers. Okay, make my day and show me if you have the Satan Is Real album.
Of course, he has it.
Oh my God. Can you stand up?
It's a pretty dope. It's a pretty dope album cover.
See it in the...
By the way, look at that. Here's Satan right here. Although I think they probably meant to put the devil closer to where they were pointing to. Like here, Satan is real. Here it is. If I had to guess, but.
So if it's my life's ambition to find that album, am I ever gonna find it?
It's rare. It's rare. You want it just for listening to it? That's an absolute mint copy.
If I found it in unplayable condition, I'd be thrilled. What Louvin brothers did you have?
All of them.
The Louvin brothers vinyl was in your collection.
Yeah.
Until my damn dirty wife took it.
Right,
this is the gentleman that his wife took all of his collection, most of his collection. He has a very small portion of it. And he's one of my favorite guys in this
now
thing.
It's for sale in your ex-wife's collection.
Possible. Yeah.
Did you have like Satan Is Real?
Yeah. I had all of them. Every one.
So
you're talking to a collector that had 98% complete collections.
So you don't want to tell me how I could get Satan Is Real. I am looking for that record, and it is sort of funny.
Well, she...
Oh, you wonder what he's going to say with that.
She had it. I have no idea if she still has it or not. I have no idea.
So how much should I offer?
Well, you're telling me. I'm going to tell you how to get one of my own records. You're trying to hit a sore spot here, too.
I know.
This guy has the gall to go to this guy's place. He's like, my wife took all of my records. He's like, oh, that's awful. Oh, how could she do that? That's so... what's her number so I can make her know? How much should I offer her for this record that I want? It's like, well, you dirty motherfucker, what the...
I don't know what to offer. I have no idea what records are worth anymore, but she's a very independent, egotistical, money-grabbing bitch.
Yikes. Oh my God, sir.
If you'll pardon the vulgarity, and you're going to get no mercy. You're going to pay what she wants, or you're not getting it.
Those records behind the mirror there are...
records that I bought off of his wife. That'd be funny if he's like, yeah, I got a great deal from his wife. She was, she was basically giving them away.
Unbelievable.
Okay, let's see here. More sex stuff here in the background with these records. Sex Atlas. Okay, fingers, something or other. I don't know. Nothing great.
To the best of my knowledge, German sex comedy records. I want to go through every pile of records in the world. That's the problem. A pile of records, they're cheap. I'm there.
Sir, someone's already trying to do that. That other gentleman's trying to get every song in the world.
Right.
Say no more. They're my father's, and there's a lot of like German sex comedy records. You never know, I might want them. I bought more records in the course of making this film than any period before in my life. I used to only go to used record stores, and now I've been going to Goodwill stores. I've been buying at people's houses. I've been in a position to buy a bunch of records from the back of a guy's car. It's not that I have too many records to listen to them. It's that I'm buying too many records to listen to them. It's all the time I have to just take the stuff home and check out what it is. I'm not bonding with any of them. Do I keep this one? Do I throw it out? Do I sell it? Do I put it on the wall? Do I make a tape from it? Do I put it in that box or that box? That's all I'm doing. I miss the way it used to be when I wasn't buying so many. And that thing I miss is not a feeling of control that I no longer have. I don't even want to, I don't want to think about that, but I miss the music.
You want to get rid of all of these?
I would like to get rid of
Yeah.
all of them.
So it's all or nothing at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. When I started buying records, because I had my first part-time job,
A whammon? A black whammon in the record world. Wow, here we go.
and each week I'd go, it was kind of crazy, but at least 4 records a week. Every Friday, you know, I'd go downtown, I'd make a list of all the...
She's less funny than the rest of them because she just liked to go buy records and, you know, whatever. It doesn't seem like that crazy.
albums I wanted. I'd go to Sam's A&A when A&A was around. And at first I felt really uncomfortable because everybody in there were male. They were all males. You know, male cashiers, males helping, you know, with the sales help. You know? Orlando. You know,
Roots, we're not gonna troll your daughter. My God, Roots, do you want to? What are you? We're not gonna do that. More, you know, your dad's a jerk. I should have guessed to call her a jerk. I'll spin that back at you. Roots, your dad Roots is a big jerk for getting us to try to call you a jerk. How about that? There you go. Man, geez, Roots are trying to get us to yell at a little girl. Jeez.
you go into the department stores and you're bombarded with women, but you go into the record stores and it's predominantly men, and only men were shopping, and I felt like I was invading the men's, you know, locker room or something like this. You know, and I thought, well, what am I doing in here? But I was determined because I want this music and it wasn't going to stop me. And I'd go in there and I'd be sweating. I'd come out and I'd be like, I made it. You know, so it took me probably a year or so to feel comfortable going into stores and buying. And I often wondered why other women didn't buy, but I guess they were probably just too interested in makeup and hair and, you know, just looking good.
And you didn't have to worry about that because you just looked naturally great.
Well, what a flatterer.
Smooth, Alan. Smooth. No stream issues here? Okay, that's good. Manu was having stream issues. Well, unfortunately, that, you know, it's going to happen. Some internets.
Well, music was my beauty, so the more I got, the more beautiful I was.
See, this is... her kid. Okay. Very good, very good. Oh, here we go. Back to this guy. Yes, look out! They're just showing how the little kids are busy. Yes.
No, I want to show you something. I'm not bragging, but I'm the best there is when it comes to memorizing records. Right. Come here for a second. I want you to do something.
I don't believe him.
Okay? This is the K-Tel stuff. As you know, K-Tel has different groups and different songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never come across anybody that can do this. Come here,
What can you
just
do?
pick any record. Just grab it. I'm going to tell you the names of the songs in order and who sings them. Now, there's 5 on each side, correct?
That's correct.
On every K-Tel album, he claims he can rhyme off every song and
Right.
artist in order on every K-Tel album.
And he didn't even know what one he picked.
They just picked one at random, although they are his.
The first song is Laura, What I Haven't Got, You Ain't Got. That's Leon Ashley. Am I right?
Well, it's Laura. What's he got
That I ain't got, okay. The second one would be, hold on for a second. This is a little harder. Let's do a faster one.
Ah, he couldn't figure that one out. He claims he
Whoa.
could rhyme off every title. Couldn't even do the first one, first two. Second song, he got stumped. Bro, don't be...
Let's do one I know.
Yeah, exactly. Let me pick the record. I'll pick the record, and then, you know, yeah, exactly. You could memorize 2 or 3 records, sure.
It takes me a long time. Pick another order.
Okay, well, pick the country one for her.
Pick a card, any card.
No, not that one. Next one.
Not that. Pick a card, any card. Not that one. The other ones.
Side one.
Here, 1 second.
No, I want you to
I'm gonna...
check me out there, huh?
Okay, you got it?
Want to do it under 2 minutes? Play the funky music, Wild Cherry, Hard Like Woman, Kiss, Daz, John Ellison with Soul Brother 6, I Never Cry, Alice Cooper. Can you come up with me? Dreamweaver, Gary Wright. I believe there's nothing stronger than Ireland. Paul Anka with the Diet Coke.
What a cocky
Number 7
jerk.
is Saturday Night, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Me and Baby Brother War. Don't fear the Reaper, boys to call. Taken to the streets, dude, brother. Side 1. Side 2 is Living Thing, ELO. Low Down, Boss Gag. Nights of Forever, Love, In Down, Jump for Cold. I do. ABBA. I like Dreaming, Kenny Nolan. Fool Around, Found Love. Alvin Bishop. Tattoo Man, Denise McCann. Save Me Silver.
So is this Spectrum?
We're going to Diana Ross, Google Brass Construction Show.
He got it, baby. He got it. Uh-oh. We have a new character has entered the... a new enemy, a new challenger has appeared. Who's this guy? So the last guy, though, he got it. And he was proud of it. And I love the way these guys smoke. It's like... Speaking of that, I'm going to roll in here while we're...
Nice.
I'd much rather be talking right now about music rather than records.
Ooh.
I'd rather be talking about movies. So what?
Well, my point is that collecting isn't what's fascinating for me. I won't deny that there's a real rush going to a record store. But that's a thrill, knowing that I'm going to be looking at vinyl and there's a possibility of finding something. It really is a rush. The whole hanging out at record stores, dropping into record stores and the looking is really thrilling. There is something at the search.
I would say when I'm in a record store, I really know what I'm doing. You know, if I'm in a used record store.
Now, when I get around a lady, I not so much, you know, but a record store, I'm in my element. I'm in the zone.
I'm like a smart record buyer. I feel comfortable. If I'm at a
So on
party,
records.
I don't feel nearly as much in
Called it.
control. You know, talking to people or whatever.
Talking to girls, basically, if I'm in a social setting, I just don't know how to interact with people. But put me in a record store.
I have to kind of watch how I act and what I say. Very aware of the impression I'm making on the other person. That's not a problem with records.
I bite my nails, for instance, and I can't quite figure out why, because I know when I'm biting them, I tell myself that I'm grooming them. I'm making them better. I'm making myself a better person, that they're neater. And that's true for the first portion of the nail biting phase.
And then you get stuck with...
Yes.
Bloody
Maybe you can watch this and maybe this can be the breakthrough to stop biting your nails. I mean, he thinks it's a good idea.
And then I keep biting them because I can't stop, and I keep telling myself I'll just make this part that's bleeding a slightly tidier wound, you know, and I'll groom that wound. And then by the end, finally, I have to quit because each fingertip is throbbing with every heartbeat, and there's so much agony, and I can't even open a car door or anything like that. So.
I have that problem right now, but I cut myself with the carpet. You have that problem right now, for real. Same thing. You gotta stop doing that.
I know. Fucking hurts.
I don't know. Some people would say that's just dismiss that as a self-destructive habit, but it satisfies somehow. So there's something I was telling myself that when I was collecting, that I was grooming myself for something.
Yeah, again, as someone, as Mr. Privilege pointed out, yes, grooming whom? It's like, what now? He's don't worry, guys, he's just grooming himself.
I was improving myself. It wasn't just to listen to. It wasn't purely for the pleasure of listening to things.
What's the correlation between abuse of substance and buying records? Both are compulsive. Both are escapist. There's ritual involved in both. Both take huge chunks of time. Both regulate the emotions. When you put on an Iggy Pop record or an Ornette Coleman record, you know what to expect. You know where your emotions are going. Real life doesn't offer that protection, that certainty.
Self-loathing.
That's the crux of this whole movie right there. Self-loathing. And that's what he's projecting on all of these people as well.
Right.
May be an extreme term, but maybe it's accurate. Let's use it anyway. When I didn't care about being successful, I didn't call myself a failure. and I got no pain from it. When I started to think that success mattered, then I started to wonder what was wrong with me that I had only just realized that. Probably it was too late. And ever since that happened, which is maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I've called myself a failure and felt bad about it. Well, one of the things I'm thinking now is if I wasn't just looking for another way to feel bad when I came up with this. If you would have asked me what I wanted 15 years ago, I wouldn't have known what to tell you. But there were some things.
This guy is a very successful documentary maker, by the way. He's
Uh-huh.
put out so many other documentaries that have done very well. It's
Gotcha.
cool. I don't know how it happened, or I haven't seen any of the other ones, but this is, you know, something else. I can't imagine him doing like an uplifting piece.
Right.
I forget. I looked up what other stuff he did, but I can't remember now.
He's always the cameraman.
This is his way of doing things in certain ways. Like, he's always interjected himself in his documentaries. Or, you know, he's always kind of the way he's
Okay.
doing it now is, at least in theory, just the way that he doesn't pretend not to exist as he's filming it. He's always narrating in real time. I suppose that's what I've read from the Wikipedia from one of his films. I haven't watched any of the other films, but maybe eventually.
Quote unquote normal things, a certain degree of success, a relationship, a family. I didn't think you had to want them badly and go after them to have them. I just thought they happened. And that, you know, they happened because you were good or something. I don't quite ever say you would have what you want if you didn't collect all, you know, if you weren't spending all your time going out and buying records and looking at records and selling records and thinking about them and reorganizing them. I don't quite say it that specifically, but it's one of the things, it's part of the picture that I draw when I say this is why you aren't where you want to be. This is why you're a failure. This is why you're alone.
This is every 78 that Teagarden ever made. Those are all photographs of them. There's more photographs of them over there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Photographs of what?
Jack Teagarden.
Okay.
That's old historic film, most of that stuff on a 3/4 inch. Then I've got a room full of film of Teagarden. And in the back room, I've got all the 1/4 inch tapes of him and all his LPs.
So he collects every type of medium, basically.
Right.
Yikes, that's a lot, yeah.
Teagarden was my first love. He was the guy that really did it to me first. And I guess I
You
wanted
gotta
to hear
word that differently.
everything he did. I just loved the guy that much. I was fortunate in that Teagarden recorded with practically everybody in the 20s and 30s. So I really didn't have to collect a whole bunch of artists to hear a whole bunch of artists. So I just had to collect Jack Teagarden. When I started working on Jack Teagarden's,
Okay, great, Jack Teagarden. There's a couple of guys here we need to get to. This guy is not as funny. Actually, what's interesting is, this actually is an interesting level of collecting, where he collected every news article that was posted about where he was playing.
Wow.
So for most of this guy's life, well, let me see if I can.
Film of the.
He knew exactly where this guy was for many years of his life. Like, he could trace back every day, city.
Wow.
Exactly. So let's. I forget for how long, from what year to what year, but it was a significant amount of
Oklahoma
time.
City newspapers, Kansas City, the St. Louis, looking for the band either there on a one-nighter or a week stand. And I started being quite successful at finding stuff that way. And the more of the puzzle that I filled in, the more easier it was to zero in on what part of the United States they were working at the time. And now I've gotten to a point where practically every time I look in a newspaper, I can find a new one-nighter. And what I do is photocopy the
the advertisements off the microfilm, bring it home and cut it out and paste it on a page of paper in a loose leaf style, so that I.
Oh, I found nothing.
He wrote down, found nothing. Oh my goodness. It also looks like he's one step away from tying strings up to thumbtacks.
From 1917?
January 14th, 1932, I believe.
Oh, I'm bad reading.
I can put the stuff in my books chronologically. Now I know where he was from 1924 to 1964.
40 years the man couldn't hide from this gentleman. Well, no, I mean, it's obviously well past that time, but
right.
Yeah, you tracked down every movement of this guy for 40 years.
40-year period, I know where he was 75% of the time, like on a nightly basis. I only found 10 rare records in 30 years, and the odds just weren't worth it. But now that I know if I'm going to a library, I'm gonna find all kinds of stuff, and it's really gonna excite me. I'm gonna come home feeling pleased that I found a lot of stuff and I made a lot of additions to my collection.
So
here we go.
Okay. Well, can I ask you what other impressions you have of like me from this apartment?
Okay, one sec here, guys.
Just from talking to me, but like in general, I think I enjoy life. You know, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm depressed or bored. I may have other problems. I may be very unhappy at various times, but I'm not bored. You know, I can always come up with amusements for myself.
Right.
So.
I mean, you asked me what insight I can bring to this. I'm a fairly messy person. I can live with a certain degree of disarray.
Mm-hmm.
This is beyond. This is
well beyond
my tolerance level.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure on one trip across the room to look in that camera, I'm going to hit that Best of the Sapphires CD there. You know, you're going to kick me out and then spend a whole weekend rebuilding those stacks.
Yeah, the messiness, it does bother me, man. Like, to go to bed, I have to spend about 5 or 10 minutes moving records around.
Right.
You know, so that I can get to the bathroom, say, in the middle of the night or...
So we got another guy that you have to move stuff around to go to the bathroom or to sleep, and Alan's calling him out on it. Let's see how this goes.
You know, tripping over a pile of them or something, and it is getting to me, and I think it does have a psychological effect.
No doubt.
For one thing, there isn't as much light in this room most of the time, so it's not as obvious. This is the most light there's been in this room in 10 years.
We only got about 800 records. Maybe.
Oh, I thought they got to that conversation, but I guess they'll get that next time.
So, and will they never come out of that closet?
I would say they'll never, because I'm probably going to move. See, you got to know my whole story. Take days to get into my head.
Right.
Not that you would really want to.
This guy's a blooming onion. You gotta really dig deep to get through all the layers of this gentleman and his ex-wife and the hatred of his ex-wife. Yeah, Paul, this is the thing, this will make you feel better about, your place or any of your places probably, because, yikes, I know it made me feel better, but my record collection and the size of it.
But what I've been trying to do, I've been trying to find a lady that's got bigger spot, that you can work something out, that you can live together and have a house or something, and then I could bring the stuff out the way I want to.
Well, wouldn't you enjoy just visiting them again?
Nope. All I was doing is pissing me off, don't have the rest. They should be where they were in my own home, in the basement. That's where they should be.
Yeah, that's where...
But the wife left you. Yeah, hair dye for sure. Indeed, Mr. Privilege.
They should be, but...
That's where they should be.
About a half an hour ago, I decided that I really don't want to see anybody that I know ever again.
Pleasant. That is depressing.
And so what I have to do is finish this film.
And then go directly to Home Hardware and buy a noose.
Have it do enough for me that I can leave here and never come back. Right now I wake up and go to bed thinking it's too late. Too late for all kinds of things that I thought I once wanted. I've been making tapes a lot. Making tapes, thinking about making tapes. Right now, the lack of clarity I have is partially a result of the mental list of tapes that I have to make for myself and this struggle I'm having to ignore that list. Because, like, what am I making these tapes for?
Why are you making these tapes? He actually explains it later. I don't know. Oh my goodness.
I have to admit that a lot of my mood has been controlled to some degree by the continuing
God, stop with the
dark
mice.
moments simply from seeing mice. There was this day where I completely reorganized my clothes.
Okay, we don't
No,
need
like,
we don't need to hear mice stories. That's what he does here. It's just stories about how because he can't get rid of the mice, his life is just over. You know, get a cat, by the way. You know, I mean, they're very good at that kind of thing. Look at him still going on about the Mouse Buster. Yes, great, great. My God, sir. There we go. Let's talk to this guy with this. Look at this hair, by the way. That's classic early 2000s, late 90s hair, for sure.
You know, entwined in this thing that, you know, they just, it's their whole get-go in life, and it shouldn't be. So there was a point where I said, hey, Eddie, you're never going to have them all. No matter what way you look.
Well, you might want to go talk to the other gentleman down the road because he thinks he is going to have them all. You know what, Eddie? I don't think I'm going to get them all there, so I'm just going to stop.
Look at it. You're never going to have them all. So.
It's like this Pokemon. You got to catch them all.
You say to yourself, you're never going to have them all. And actually, when I said that, I realized, well, you know what? I'm more at ease with myself now. And being more at ease with myself, I can accept that other people got records that I don't have. Because none of us, in reality, are ever going to have them all. It's impossible.
You know, it was hard for me to imagine some other guy with the girlfriend himself. You know, me not with one. So then I just you know, shot up the bakery, the local bakery. It was no big deal, you know.
I thought I either keep doing this for the rest of my life and buy bigger and bigger places to fill it, or you know, I make the decision to kill it.
Was that easy?
No. This wall here, where the bed is now, this wall here was entirely covered.
Floor to ceiling.
Floor to ceiling.
So 150 square feet of records.
Oh my God.
I sold it, took about 3-4 months to sell it all off. And then I had to kind of cure myself of all the habits of the buying and the lusting after vinyl, and it was like being
Right in
freed
there.
of something, you know, not just the physical aspect, but freeing up your mind.
What aren't you telling me? It can't just be that once you have records and now you don't.
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, and by the way, I also now accept Jesus as my Lord.
You know, the people in 12
pretty much. Here, let's
programs
see.
talk about
Let's move it along. I want to get to that guy with the suspenders.
Had no 4 or 5.
So did you actually
More
attain
Harvey.
a med-
He, you know,
I went
he
to the
doesn't seem-
Goodwill store and I found their records I got from the old Jew. And I bought all the records that were there. Was I looking for records like Cantor Pinchot Sings or At Home with the Berry Sisters? No. They are records that you're not looking for, but you can't leave them there when you find them. If I'd left it, I would have thought later about why did you leave it there. It's not that I wanted them, it's that I couldn't leave them there.
I didn't want the biggest hits of the klezmer party, but I needed them. I didn't want Dreidel Days Forever by the Berry Sisters, but I didn't want the Shekel Shuffle, but I had to buy it. The Shekel Shuffle was a fine song, and you know, the cover was so cool.
Different. Most of the time that I've been obsessed with records, I've had other obsessions that would push that obsession away. I didn't feel it all the time. Sometimes going out and buying one used CD for $10 would be fine for the week or for even longer. I'm feeling that need.
Used to be that I could get by on a couple puffs of weed, and then I graduated to stronger narcotics, and then just didn't do the same thing anymore.
Now, all the time. And what's frightening about that is it's the easy listening music that's calling to me, whispering in my ear all the time these days. The musical genre, which
First started off with the gateway, you know, the entry record. You know, I started off with a little K-Tel, then I graduated into the Woolworths brand Beatle albums, and then then I discovered Santana, and oh, this is like a hit of hard drugs to my soul.
which has, I think, no matter how much I can defend it, the musical genre which has the least musical value is the musical genre that I am more...
Yeah, now he goes into easy listening right now, and I don't want to hear him talk about easy listening. I want to find this guy. Oh, there's some other chick with a kid. Wow, imagine.
Collecting to have a baby.
These are in alphabetical order. You betcha.
By
to a T.
By
if it's
the
Ronnie Dove, it's R-O, and then it's Rex Smith, that'll be before the Ronnie Dove, of course. Just like that, exactly. R-A-R-A-B.
Oh, so you alphabetize by the first name, not by the last name.
Right. I don't go the Beatles. It would be Beatles. The is eliminated. Okay.
Right.
If it would be
Duh.
Donny Osmond, Alan Jackson 5 is D-O.
You have to have your own system.
Yeah. I think it's great. You know, there's too many groups with the. Like 90%, I think, is the something. I don't do it that way. The T's would be like, you know,
yeah, no.
You can name a letter, and I can tell you how many bands start with that letter.
Guys, can you do that? Can you do that? Just give him a letter. He'll tell you how many bands start with that letter.
Q, there's only 4.
Okay, who are they?
Okay, you understand me?
Yeah, okay.
S
You understand me?
is 1,246. Oh, yeah. I've got stuff memorized like that. I don't care where they were born, the history of the band. I don't give a shit, but weird stuff like that. I can tell you how long the song is and how many with that letter.
So that's weird as hell. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it seems less weird if you could name all the members of a band that you liked. That's not as weird as being able to name...
the alphabet?
To say how many bands start with the letter S. 1,243. Well, then he doesn't have time to name them, but let's see where this goes.
It's...
Okay, so it's 1,246.
46 groups with start letter S so far that I've found. That's all
But
there
only
is.
4 with Q, and what are they?
Queen.
Queen.
And guess the other 3.
Quicksilver.
Queensrich.
Yeah, that's a little later, but...
Queensrich.
Queensryche.
Yeah, okay.
Number 4?
Quartz.
Well,
Never
there's
heard of
that
them. There was 5.
Susie
Are you
Quattro.
sure?
Oh, no, Susie.
Did I even hear Queen being mentioned?
Yeah, the first one.
Oh, okay. Oh, God.
Z is S as far as I'm concerned. There's no
Okay, well, there's that band. I got woken up this morning.
So, someone the next day, someone started a band.
God Quartz.
I assume that there's... He can name every band that starts with that letter. You know what I mean? Like, amazing.
By a phone call. It was about 10:30 and I hadn't fallen asleep till after 7 a.m. I got up, made my coffee, walked into this room here, the room where I live, and I felt like I had the whole day before me, get my life on track, get moving, finish
This sad sack. I'm
complete,
gonna move
together.
Move along to find... Look at that. This guy is a sad one. I want to find the guy with the suspenders and the conversation that they had together. Not him. We're gonna wrap it up here soon. It's getting late, and but there is one more scene I want to find where he. Oh, this actually we got to hear this guy too.
Head like a siren song. I don't know. You got to do something with all this. I mean, look,
Bill,
I can't. I don't have any hope. I told you, my motivation is gone. I have no desire to do anything. Maybe I've got a bad attitude, and chances are that I'm wrong. You know, like I'm out of step with the way the things really are. But to give you an example, there's a lady. She lives about 7 doors down the street here. Just down there. And I put an ad in the local paper looking for a lady companion. She answered it. Do you believe I haven't met her yet? 3 weeks. I call her, she sent me a letter, gave me her phone number, so I called her. So we chatted for about an hour this night. I said, you know, started talking a little bit about yourself. And I said, well, I'm a heavy-set person, a large person. And she said, well, I'm not small either. And I said something like, well, I like a woman that's got, you know, some meat on her bones and a bit of a breast or something. I said, you know what side's the front? As a joke. And today, in today's modern world, with the way people, what you see and they do on TV and the way people talk, that's not, to me, out of line. But it is to somebody who's Victorian and prudish and
Victorian, by the way.
She'll go to church 4 days a week or whatever. So she's, well, on that note, I'll say goodnight. Never talked to her since. The point is that I need a purpose. I need somebody to care for me. I need somebody to walk out on me after I took this person in, gave them everything, I made them a good life, educated them, and then they dump me because they want something they can't have. I mean, I'm not going into the whole story, but the point is there's no need of this. They could have been discussed. There was some other arrangement could have been made, but nobody wanted to talk. This is what I want, and I want 50% of everything, and I don't care what happens to you, and I don't care about anything, but I'm going to get it. Come on. I mean, this is not a joke. This is not, come on. Come on. Hurry up.
Yes, Roots, they do need
It's
help.
not just the music. It's got nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, it's the curse. This is what ruined my life, is the music. I wouldn't have had this problem if I didn't have any music.
You think that you can't have a girlfriend. That's what I think.
Here we go. I love this guy.
So you might as well live a life in which you could never get one.
Well, that could be true. But then you get into a sort of chicken egg thing. I don't know.
No, I think you could. I think you're a normal, smart, sweet guy that could have a girlfriend, but you'd have to
make certain changes. Well, thank you.
I feel like this guy could still be a virgin. I don't know about, or even the Alan doing the video. The other guy with the wife, I doubt. You know, somehow he must have squeezed it in somewhere there.
That's no, that's of use to me. You know, some of these are things that I have thought about myself. I think the illness had a profound effect on me. I had a form of cancer and testicular, which is like, you know, a castration fantasy come to life, you know. One reason you're sailing along in the barred mission course. You know, yeah, you know you got some discomfort, you know what the fuck it is. And then suddenly, you know, you're on an examining table, and the chief urologist at the Toronto Women's Hospital, or Women's College, you know, it's got, you know, testicles in his hand. He says, well, if it's malignant, it's got to go. You know, you almost fall off the table. This is on a Tuesday morning. Thursday morning, I went under the knife, you know. And that's, and then for the next 2.5 years, it's a little rocket ride.
Where's this
where
conversation
kept
start?
relapsing, and I tend to think stress is related to illness. The worst year of my life, the article. I get this.
Oh yeah,
I would even
we're
say
still,
the years that I
we're
had
still going.
cancer.
We're going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes, but I just want to find this last interaction between these two guys. It's pretty
It's
common.
not wearing rainbows.
No, it's another guy. Another guy's wearing those.
You know, I've been in university, and I could function very well in that environment, but you know, I just wasn't slick enough for it or whatever. Well, I think your insights, I mean, Christ, you're like a psychiatrist.
Here we go.
I am a psychiatrist.
I've learned more from you than I would learn from most psychiatrists.
No, I'm,
or maybe, as you say, you have some of the same issues.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do have some of the same issues. On either side of the mirror here.
Okay, let's see if we can find that guy again here. I want to find this last interaction here.
These records, these easy listening records particularly,
They do have a
are
pretty good one,
essentially
yes.
for me objects. The fact that
There we
there's
go.
music in their grooves.
Lots more to come.
What are you doing, bro? Okay, here we go. So this next interaction
You
here.
can't really go that far into it.
This is where the trouble starts between Alan and this guy here. Alan wants to go exploring, and this gentleman is having some, you know, discomfort with the whole thing.
Stuff everywhere. Part of that is because of you. I'm suffering for art, I can tell you. You just want me to open the blinds here?
Yeah, I guess. So I get some light in here.
Now you're stepping on the record.
Oh.
I wish you would. Why don't you just put it back up again? Like I got what, half dozen records you stepped on me.
Oh, fuck it. They, well,
Well, you insisted on coming here.
okay, if I destroyed any, check it out. If I destroyed any of them, I'll pay.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Okay.
It just it makes me nervous, I guess. Well, I'm uncomfortable in a sense because you're making me feel embarrassed. And yet, you know, like this to me is my own personal business. This is my personal space.
Yeah, I know,
As far as I'm concerned, I can do what I want with it.
He's coming in his house and, you know, telling him what a dork he is and what kind of life he has. No life. That's awful.
You're mad at me now?
Well, I'm trying to, you know, is the sound on?
Yeah, I want you to admit.
Well, I don't want to say that, you know.
You don't want to admit that you're mad at me?
I don't want to say I'm
mad
mad.
at you, but I mean,
I'm cleaning off
I
the
don't wanna
records.
say, but
Why? Tell me why.
I don't know, it's just aggravation, I don't mean.
It's like, look, I come to the house, I step on a record.
But where the fuck am I gonna put this stuff, man?
No, but look.
I love it. He's getting angry at him now. It's like, well, where am I going to put it? Yeah, Bubbles does look like he's gone downhill, you know? That's for sure.
Where would you put it?
This is what I'm saying. I come to your house.
You're right, you got me angry at it.
I stepped on your record, and you're going to say to yourself,
there you go.
You're going to say to yourself, fuck it, from now on nobody's coming over. Whereas you could, but you could say to yourself, fuck it, I got to get this off the floor so nobody will step on it, and then more people can
But that's
come
not
over.
humanly possible. I don't want a lot of people coming over.
Why not?
Well, I don't.
You're a friendly guy.
But I don't want them coming over.
You're a
I'm
nice.
not that friendly.
Yes, you are. You're mad now, but you're a nice guy.
I like to think I am, but
You're a nice guy. Like, you know what? Let's go for a coffee now.
no.
Why not?
You're playing mind games, man.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
Well, I don't know why you are, but you are.
Okay, then tell me, did I hurt the record?
Well,
No, I mean,
there's some scuff marks that I don't think we had before, but that's all right.
Some scuff marks.
I didn't step on the Charlie Hayden.
I saw you stepping on it. Anyway, whatever. It drives me nuts in the sense that I say, well, where am I going to put this stuff? I have no idea, you know.
Well, then.
I know, but Chris,
Get
you
rid of
act as if this stuff organically grew from the
No,
bill.
I've deliberately bought it and I've brought it here.
Why would you buy
But
stuff?
I'm not really interested in having a lot of people here.
Okay, I tell you that.
You think I am in spite of myself, but I don't think I
No,
am.
I'm saying this. We could go out, I have a car. We'll go out of a Saturday
Yeah.
and buy enough cheap shelves. We'll spend 20 bucks on shelves. We'll come back here, and by the weekend, there won't be anything on the floor.
See, that's the first nice thing he's done this whole video, I think. He's offered to help stack up some records for this guy, you know? So let's see how, if he takes his, that's true, we just call it Timmy's. That's right, they're going for coffee. Going out for coffee, Tim's is implied. Timmy's, or whatever, yeah.
Would you do that?
Sure, I don't mind doing that.
I mean, wouldn't it be good?
But where would I get cheap shelving? But you're saying to me, okay, you come over.
Where would I get cheap shelving? Well, I mean, you know, it's the year 2000. I mean, it's a, you know, I think Walmart did exist, or Target, or any of these places, or store. I don't know, Zellers even is still kicking around.
Here you say, Chris, you know, I really want to talk to you about your records and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you tell me that this is a disgusting mess.
I came in here, and within 5 minutes, you started saying, tell me more about myself.
Oh, okay. No,
Analyze me more.
It's useful, but it's painful. I mean, I'm quite sure you're correct, but it's very painful.
Well, I guess we'll end it. We'll end it with this. You know, he found someone. He found the woman of his dreams. Look at this. This is an actual whammon who likes records. There we go.
Okay, now look this way.
Oh, look at this. She looks like a... Oh, look at this. She's a good-looking girl. Well, would you find a very attractive young lady, would you not say? Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Wow, he's really hit the gold mine there. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, mama.
Whoopsie. Up at the boo. Well, hey, some guys are into that. The hairy armpits. Okay. Right on. Well, on that note, there you go. That's the way it's going to end right here with the hairy armpits. Yeah, hairy armpits. You like that? Roots. Yeah, look at that. You guys, oh, she's not bad looking. Smash. And then, never mind.
No.
Hey, but you know what, though? That's not a deal breaker. Do you know why? Because razors exist. Razors exist. That can be remedied in
That's
minutes.
lifestyle, though.
Yes, but also, you know, with enough reprogramming, subtle, you know, little, if you're a manipulative bastard, you can kind of get into her brain and change her little mind.
Maybe.
I could change her. No, actually, that's not true. No, you don't bother. Just don't bother. Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. So here is where we're going to end. We're going to end with the hairy armpits. And look, it's been a long day with you guys. You know, you've seen too much of us. You'll be sick of us. And that's why, you know, listen, if there's no shows for the rest of December, don't complain. We put in a good day.
The whole month's worth.
The whole month's worth. Anyways, that's not true. Regardless, look, guys, thank you for hanging out.
We'll see you sometime.
We will see you sometime. I don't know, maybe tomorrow. I can't guarantee anything right now.
Right.
You know.
So sometime is sometime.
Sometime is sometime. It's December. Let's see here. There we go. I'm questionable in December. So, okay, so thanks so much again for hanging out, everybody, and all. And until next time, we'll just keep moving on. Like the littlest hobo. Everyone's favorite dog. Everyone's favorite dog.
Thank you for tuning in to the Irrational Times live stream. Please join us again. From Dixie Crush, it's Irrational Times and the lovely assistant saying, have a great one.
Yes, indeed.
Have a great one.
See you later, guys. Thanks a lot.